Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between enchanted forests and shimmering rivers, there was a young princess named Seraphina. Seraphina was known throughout the land for her kindness, wisdom, and beauty. But there was something even more extraordinary about her. Each night, a single, glowing starflower would bloom in her royal garden, and its petals were said to grant the holder one wish. Legend had it that the starflower bloomed only for those with a pure heart, and Seraphina's garden was the only place in the kingdom where these magical flowers grew. Seraphina cared for her garden with great love, ensuring that the starflowers thrived. One day, a terrible drought struck the kingdom. The rivers ran dry, the crops withered, and the people grew desperate. Seraphina's father, King Alden, called for a council to seek a solution. The kingdom's wisest advisors suggested seeking out the Starflower Princess, believing the magic of the Starflower could save them. As Seraphina pondered how best to use the Starflower's magic, a dark cloud passed over the kingdom. From this cloud emerged a fearsome sorcerer named Malachi, who coveted the Starflower's power. He appeared before the king and offered to end the drought in exchange for the Starflower. King Alden, desperate to save his people, agreed reluctantly. However, Seraphina, sensing Malachi's malevolent intent, intervened. "Father, allow me to travel to the Whispering Glade. It is said that the ancient spirits there may know how to end the drought without surrendering our kingdom's magic." The king agreed, and Seraphina set off on her journey. Accompanied by her loyal guard, Sir Cedric, and her childhood friend, an owl named Luna, Seraphina ventured into the heart of the enchanted forest. The Whispering Glade was a place of ancient magic, where the trees themselves spoke in hushed tones, and the air shimmered with mystical energy. As Seraphina and her companions entered, they were greeted by the spirits of the forest, who appeared as ethereal, glowing figures. One of the spirits, an ancient guardian named Elian, approached Seraphina. "Princess," Elian said, "we know of your plight. The drought is the work of Malachi, who seeks to drain the life from your kingdom. To save your people, you must find the crystal spring, hidden deep within the Cavern of Echoes. Its waters will restore balance and end the drought." Elian gave Seraphina a map and a crystal pendant that would light the way. With renewed determination, Seraphina, Sir Cedric, and Luna continued their journey. They traveled through dense forests, crossed treacherous rivers, and climbed steep mountains until they finally reached the entrance of the Cavern of Echoes. The cavern was dark and foreboding, filled with the sound of whispers that echoed off the walls. Using the pendant's light, they navigated the labyrinthine passages, overcoming challenges and solving ancient riddles. At last, they reached the heart of the cavern, where the crystal spring flowed. Its waters sparkled with an otherworldly glow. Seraphina filled a vial with the magical water, but as they prepared to leave, Malachi appeared, blocking their path. "Foolish princess," Malachi sneered, "did you think you could outsmart me? The power of the Starflower will be mine." With a wave of his hand, Malachi summoned dark magic to trap Seraphina and her companions. But Luna, the wise owl, flew at Malachi, distracting him long enough for Seraphina to use the pendant's light to dispel his dark magic. As the light enveloped Malachi, he screamed in fury and vanished into a cloud of smoke. Seraphina, Sir Cedric, and Luna quickly left the cavern and returned to the kingdom with the vial of crystal spring water. Back at the castle, Seraphina poured the water into the parched soil of the royal garden. Instantly, the earth began to heal, and rain clouds gathered in the sky. The drought ended, and life returned to the kingdom. The people rejoiced, celebrating Seraphina's bravery and wisdom. In gratitude, the spirits of the Whispering Glade granted the kingdom a grove of starflowers, ensuring that their magic would always be there to protect and nourish the land. King Alden, filled with pride, declared a festival to honor Seraphina and her companions. Seraphina, however, remained humble. She knew that the true magic lay not in the starflowers or the crystal spring, but in the courage, kindness, and unity of her people. From that day on, the kingdom thrived, and Seraphina became a beloved queen, known as the Starflower Queen. Her legacy of wisdom and compassion lived on, and the kingdom of Ilaria flourished under her reign. And so, the tale of the Starflower Princess became a cherished story, reminding all who heard it of the power of love, courage, and the magic that dwells in a pure heart. And they all lived happily ever after.
In a quaint village nestled by the edge of a mystical forest, there lived a young girl named Luna. Luna was known for her kindness and her love of the stars. Every night, she would gaze up at the moon, dreaming of far-off lands and magical adventures. One evening, as Luna wandered through the forest near her village, she stumbled upon an old, moss-covered chest hidden beneath the roots of a giant oak tree. Curious, she opened the chest and discovered a beautiful silver pendant shaped like a crescent moon. It shimmered softly, as if holding a piece of the moonlight itself. Excited by her find, Luna took the pendant home. That night, under the full moon, she noticed the pendant glowing brighter and heard a soft whisper, "Luna, you have found the moonlit pendant. Your kindness and bravery are needed." The next day, Luna learned that her village was facing a serious problem. The once lush fields had turned barren, and the river that flowed through the village had become a mere trickle. The villagers were worried and unsure of how to restore their land. Luna remembered the pendant's whisper and decided to seek help. She visited the village elder, a wise woman named Alara. Alara, upon seeing the pendant, revealed an ancient secret. The moonlit pendant is magical. It can restore life to the land, but only if you complete a quest. You must travel to the Enchanted Lake and retrieve the Heart of the Moon, a magical crystal that can bring back the vitality of the land. With determination in her heart, Luna set off on her journey. The path to the Enchanted Lake was fraught with challenges. She first encountered a dark forest where shadows danced and whispered. Luna was frightened but pressed on, holding the pendant close. The pendant's glow seemed to guide her through the forest, and soon she reached the edge of a sparkling, enchanted lake. The lake was guarded by a majestic, silver swan named Selene. To retrieve the Heart of the Moon, Selene said, "You must prove your courage and kindness. Tell me, why do you seek the Heart of the Moon?" Luna, her voice steady, replied, "I seek the Heart of the Moon to restore my village's land and help my people. I want to make a difference and bring life back to where it has faded." Selene's eyes sparkled with approval. "Your heart is pure. The Heart of the Moon is hidden in the depths of this lake. To retrieve it, you must face your greatest fear." Taking a deep breath, Luna stepped into the lake. The water was cool and clear, and as she swam deeper, she saw eerie shapes in the shadows. Her fear grew, but she focused on her goal. The pendant glowed brightly, lighting the way. In the depths, Luna found a shimmering crystal nestled among the reeds. The Heart of the Moon pulsed gently with a soft light. Luna grasped the crystal, and as she did, the shadows around her faded away, and a calming light enveloped her. With the Heart of the Moon in hand, Luna swam back to the surface. Selene greeted her with a smile. "You have proven your bravery and kindness. Take the Heart of the Moon to your village." Luna thanked Selene and made her way back home, the Heart of the Moon glowing warmly in her hands. As she approached the village, the pendant began to shine even brighter, guiding her to the heart of the barren fields. When Luna placed the Heart of the Moon in the center of the fields, its light spread outwards, bringing warmth and vitality back to the land. The crops began to grow lush and green, and the river flowed once more with clear, sparkling water. The villagers gathered around, cheering and celebrating. They marveled at Luna's bravery and the magic of the Heart of the Moon. The once barren land was now flourishing, and the village was vibrant and full of life once again. Luna's heart swelled with happiness as she looked at the thriving fields and the grateful faces of her fellow villagers. She realized that her journey had taught her the true power of courage, kindness, and determination. From that day on, Luna was known not only for her love of the stars, but also for her heroic heart. The moonlit pendant remained a cherished treasure, a reminder of the magic that lies within those who dare to dream and act with a pure heart. And so, Luna lived happily, always ready for new adventures and guided by the light of the moonlit pendant, knowing that she had made a difference in her village and beyond.
Once upon a time, in a dense and magical forest, there lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Flicker was the smallest of all the fireflies, with a light that was barely brighter than a candle's flame. Despite her small size, Flicker had the biggest dreams. She wanted to light up the entire forest, just like the moon did every night. But whenever she shared her dream with the other fireflies, they would laugh and say, "Flicker, you're too small. You'll never be able to light up the whole forest. Just stay here and light up your little corner." Flicker tried to believe them, but deep down, she couldn't give up on her dream. She wanted to be more than just a tiny light in the corner of the forest. She wanted to make a difference. One night, Flicker decided to go on a journey to find someone who could help her make her dream come true. She flew through the forest, her little light flickering bravely as she passed tall trees and quiet streams. Eventually, she came to the oldest and wisest tree in the forest, a giant oak that had stood for centuries. The giant oak had seen many things in its long life and was known for giving advice to the creatures of the forest. Flicker landed on one of its thick branches and looked up at the towering tree. "Great oak," Flicker began, her tiny voice trembling with hope, "I want to light up the entire forest. But everyone says I'm too small. Is there any way I can make my dream come true?" The giant oak rustled its leaves gently, as if thinking carefully. "Little Flicker," the oak said in a deep, soothing voice, "your light may be small, but it is unique and special. However, to light up the entire forest, you cannot do it alone. You must find others who share your dream." Flicker thought about the oak's words. "But how can I find others who want to help me? No one seems to believe in my dream." The giant oak swayed its branches, and a few leaves floated down, glistening in the moonlight. "There is magic in unity, little firefly. If you can inspire others with your dream, they will join you. Start by sharing your light and your dream with those around you. You may be surprised by how many will follow." Encouraged by the oak's wisdom, Flicker thanked the tree and flew back into the forest. She decided to start with the creatures who were often overlooked, just like her. First, she visited the tiny spiders who spun their webs in the corners of the forest. The spiders were shy and didn't often speak to others, but Flicker bravely approached them. "Hello, spiders," Flicker said softly. "I have a dream to light up the entire forest. I know my light is small, but if we all work together, we can create something beautiful. Will you help me?" The spiders looked at one another, surprised that someone was speaking to them so kindly. They admired Flicker's determination and agreed to help. "We can spin threads of silk to reflect your light," the spiders said. "Together, we can make your light shine even brighter." Next, Flicker flew to the quiet pond where the frogs lived. The frogs were known for their songs, but they rarely ventured out of the water at night. Flicker landed on a lily pad and spoke to them. "Hello, frogs," Flicker said with a smile. "I want to light up the entire forest. I know it's a big dream, but with your voices, we can call others to join us. Will you help me?" The frogs croaked thoughtfully and then nodded. "We'll sing our loudest songs to spread the word. With your light and our voices, we'll gather the forest creatures." With the help of the spiders and the frogs, Flicker's light began to grow. The spiders wove intricate webs that caught and reflected Flicker's glow, making it sparkle like 1,000 tiny stars. The frogs sang their loudest songs, calling out to the creatures of the forest to come and see the light. One by one, the other animals began to gather. The rabbits, mice, and squirrels, who were usually timid and stayed hidden at night, came out to see what was happening. The birds, who often slept in the treetops, woke up and flew down to join the gathering. Flicker, now surrounded by the creatures of the forest, felt her light growing stronger. She was no longer alone, her dream had inspired others, and together, they were creating something truly magical. The animals, each in their own way, added to the growing light. The rabbits found shiny stones to place around the forest, reflecting Flicker's glow even further. The squirrels collected dewdrops from the leaves, which sparkled like diamonds in the light. The birds flapped their wings gently, creating a breeze that made the light dance through the trees. As more and more creatures joined in, the entire forest began to glow with a warm, golden light. It was a light unlike any the forest had ever seen before, soft yet brilliant, gentle yet powerful. The light reached every corner of the forest, illuminating even the darkest shadows. Flicker looked around in amazement. She had never imagined that her small light could grow into something so magnificent. The forest was alive with light and joy, and all the creatures were united in a common goal. The giant oak, watching from its ancient perch, smiled at the sight. The wisdom of its age had proven true once again. The greatest magic comes from unity and the belief in one's dreams. From that night on, the forest creatures came together regularly to create the magical light. And Flicker, the little firefly with the big dream, was no longer known as the smallest of all the fireflies. She was known as the firefly with the heart of 1,000 stars. And so, the forest was never dark again, for Flicker's light, along with the light of her friends, shone brightly and beautifully, reminding everyone that even the smallest light can make the biggest difference when shared with others. The end. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. She was known for her gentle spirit and her love for all living things. Elara spent her days tending to her garden, which was the most beautiful in the village. She grew vibrant flowers, delicious fruits, and fragrant herbs, all with a touch of magic that seemed to flow from her very soul. One sunny morning, as Elara was watering her plants, an old woman with a weary look approached her garden gate. "Please, young girl," the woman pleaded, "I am tired and hungry. Could you spare some food?" Without hesitation, Elara invited the woman into her garden and shared with her the freshest fruits and a cool drink of water. The woman ate gratefully, and as she finished, her tired eyes sparkled with a mysterious light. She revealed herself to be not an ordinary woman, but a wise and powerful enchantress named Mirabelle. "You have shown me great kindness," Mirabelle said, "and for that, I shall grant you a gift. In the heart of the enchanted forest lies a hidden garden, more wondrous than you can imagine. It is a place where dreams come to life, and the rarest flowers bloom. To find it, you must follow the song of the nightingale that sings only at midnight." Elara thanked Mirabelle, her heart filled with curiosity and excitement. That night, as the village slept, she listened carefully. Just as the clock struck 12, she heard the sweet, melodious song of a nightingale. Guided by the music, she ventured into the enchanted forest. The forest was alive with magic. Trees whispered secrets to one another, and glowing fireflies lit Elara's path. She followed the nightingale's song deeper and deeper into the woods until she reached a clearing bathed in moonlight. There, in the center, was the hidden garden Mirabelle had spoken of. The garden was unlike anything Elara had ever seen. Flowers of every color imaginable swayed gently in the breeze, their petals shimmering like precious gems. The air was filled with the scent of honey and fresh rain. At the heart of the garden stood a magnificent tree with golden leaves and silver blossoms. As Elara approached the tree, she noticed a small, ornate box nestled among its roots. She opened the box and found a glowing seed inside. Just then, the nightingale flew down and landed on her shoulder, singing a soft, enchanting tune. "This seed holds the magic of this garden," the nightingale said. "Plant it in your garden, and it will bring endless beauty and abundance to your village. But remember, its magic will only flourish if nurtured with love and kindness." Elara carefully took the seed and made her way back home. She planted it in the center of her garden, and from that day on, her garden became a place of wonder and enchantment. The flowers grew more vibrant, the fruits more delicious, and the herbs more fragrant than ever before. Word of Elara's magical garden spread far and wide, and people came from distant lands to see its beauty. Elara welcomed them all with open arms, sharing her bounty and teaching others the importance of kindness and love. Years passed, and Elara's garden continued to thrive. The village prospered, and the spirit of generosity and compassion that Elara had sown in her garden spread throughout the land. The enchanted garden became a symbol of hope and unity, reminding everyone that true magic lies in the simple acts of kindness we show to one another. And so, Elara lived a long and happy life, surrounded by the beauty she had helped create, knowing that her legacy of love and kindness would endure for generations to come. Once upon a time, in a kingdom known as Eldoria, there was a small village called Bramblewood. This village was nestled by the edge of a vast, enchanted forest and bordered a serene, shimmering lake known as Silver Lake. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, fishing in the lake and gathering herbs from the forest. However, one fateful year, a terrible drought struck Eldoria, drying up Silver Lake and withering the crops. The village fell into despair, unsure of how they would survive. In this village lived a young girl named Arya, who was known for her love of adventure and her compassionate heart. Arya couldn't bear to see her friends and family suffer, and she decided to seek out a solution. She remembered her grandmother's stories about the phoenix feather, a magical feather from a legendary phoenix that had the power to bring rain and restore life to the land. Determined to find the phoenix feather, Arya set off on a journey into the enchanted forest. She knew it would be a perilous quest, filled with unknown dangers, but her resolve was unwavering. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller and the light dimmer. Strange, magical creatures watched her from the shadows, but Arya pressed on. After several days of traveling, Arya came upon an old, twisted tree with a door carved into its trunk. Curious, she knocked, and the door creaked open to reveal a small, cozy room. Inside sat an elderly woman with kind eyes and a warm smile. "Welcome, dear child," the woman said. "I am Elowen, the guardian of the forest. What brings you to my humble abode?" Arya explained her quest for the phoenix feather, and Elowen listened intently. "The phoenix resides in the crystal caves, deep within the heart of the forest," Elowen said. "But the path is fraught with challenges. You must prove your worth and your intentions." Elowen gave Arya a small, silver lantern and a map. "This lantern will guide you through the darkness, and the map will show you the way. But remember, only a pure heart can summon the phoenix." With gratitude, Arya thanked Elowen and continued her journey. The forest grew denser, and the air became thick with enchantment. Following the map, she navigated through treacherous terrain and crossed enchanted rivers. Along the way, she encountered a mischievous sprite named Nixie, who tried to lead her astray. But Arya's kindness and determination won Nixie over, and he decided to help her instead. Together, they reached the entrance of the crystal caves. The cave sparkled with a myriad of colors, and the air was filled with an otherworldly hum. As they ventured deeper, they came to a vast chamber where the legendary phoenix rested on a pedestal of crystal. The phoenix was a magnificent bird with feathers of vibrant red and gold, and eyes that shone like the sun. As Arya approached, the phoenix regarded her with curiosity and wisdom. "Why do you seek my feather, young one?" the phoenix asked, its voice resonating like a melodious song. Arya explained the plight of her village and the drought that had stricken their land. She spoke of her love for her home and her desire to save her people. The phoenix listened, its gaze never leaving her face. "You have shown great courage and compassion," the phoenix said. "I will grant you my feather, but remember, its power must be used with a pure heart and good intentions." With that, the phoenix plucked a single feather from its radiant plumage and handed it to Arya. The feather glowed with a magical light, and Arya felt a warmth spread through her as she held it. Thanking the phoenix, Arya and Nixie made their way back to Bramblewood. When they arrived, the villagers were overjoyed to see Arya safe and sound. She went to the center of the village, holding the phoenix feather high. With a heart full of hope and love, she spoke the words of the ancient incantation Elowen had taught her. The feather shimmered and burst into flames, but instead of burning, the flames turned into clouds. These clouds rose into the sky, darkening and swelling until they covered the entire village. Moments later, rain began to fall, gentle at first, then stronger, until Silver Lake was filled once more, and the fields were drenched and revived. The villagers danced and celebrated in the rain, their spirits lifted and their hope restored. Arya's bravery and selflessness had saved them, and they hailed her as a hero. The phoenix feather's magic had not only brought back the rain but also taught the villagers the power of hope, courage, and the strength found in unity. Arya's legend spread far and wide, inspiring others to act with bravery and kindness. Silver Lake sparkled once more, and Bramblewood flourished, becoming a beacon of hope in Eldoria. And so, the village thrived, its people living in harmony with nature, always remembering the young girl who brought the rain and saved them all. The end. Once upon a time, in a secluded corner of a vast, enchanted forest, there was a tiny village called Brightwood. Brightwood was known for its vibrant flowers, its clear, babbling brooks, and its friendly inhabitants. At the heart of the village was an ancient tree known as the Heartwood Tree. The villagers believed that the tree held the magic that kept their land lush and flourishing. In Brightwood lived a cheerful young girl named Lila. Lila had a special bond with the Heartwood Tree. She often spent her afternoons sitting beneath its branches, reading stories and dreaming of adventures. One day, as Lila was reading, she noticed a peculiar sight. A single golden leaf had fallen from the Heartwood Tree, and it shimmered with an unusual light. Curious, Lila picked up the golden leaf and saw that it had a delicate inscription: "When the moon is full and shadows fall, seek the path where magic calls." Excited by the mysterious message, Lila decided to follow the leaf's instructions. That night, as the full moon cast its silvery glow across Brightwood, she ventured into the forest. The moonlight illuminated a hidden path she had never noticed before. The path was lined with glowing mushrooms and delicate, twinkling fireflies. As Lila walked along the path, she heard soft, melodious music drifting through the trees. The music led her to a beautiful glade where a magnificent, shimmering portal stood. The portal pulsed with a soft, inviting light. Summoning her courage, Lila stepped through the portal and found herself in a magical realm. The realm was a breathtaking landscape of floating islands, sparkling waterfalls, and vibrant, ever-changing skies. In the center of this realm stood a grand castle made of crystal and light. The castle was home to the enchanted queen, a wise and kind ruler who governed the realm. Lila entered the castle and was greeted by the enchanted queen. "Welcome, brave traveler," the queen said with a warm smile. "I see you have followed the golden leaf. You are here to help restore the magic of our realm." Lila nodded, eager to learn more. The queen explained that their realm was losing its magic due to a dark spell cast by a jealous sorcerer. To break the spell and restore balance, Lila needed to find 3 magical artifacts hidden throughout the realm: the Heartstone of Light, the Crown of Harmony, and the Chalice of Truth. The queen provided Lila with a magical map that would guide her to each artifact. Lila's first destination was the Forest of Echoes, where the Heartstone of Light was hidden. The forest was alive with glowing trees and whispering voices. To find the Heartstone, Lila had to solve a puzzle posed by the forest's guardian, a wise old owl. The owl asked, "What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up, up it goes, and yet never grows?" After thinking carefully, Lila answered, "A mountain." The owl nodded, and the Heartstone of Light appeared, glowing brightly with a warm, golden hue. Next, Lila traveled to the Valley of Harmony, where the Crown of Harmony was hidden. The valley was home to harmonious creatures who lived in perfect unity. To retrieve the crown, Lila had to help the creatures solve a disagreement between them. By listening to both sides and finding a fair compromise, she restored harmony and received the Crown of Harmony, adorned with radiant jewels. The final artifact, the Chalice of Truth, was hidden in the Caves of Reflection. The caves were filled with mirrors that created confusing illusions. Lila had to navigate through the labyrinth of mirrors and face her own reflection. Through her honesty and self-reflection, she discovered the true Chalice of Truth, shimmering with a pure, clear light. With all 3 artifacts in hand, Lila returned to the enchanted queen. The queen used the artifacts to break the dark spell, restoring the realm's magic. The skies brightened, the waterfalls sparkled, and the floating islands glowed with renewed energy. The queen thanked Lila for her bravery and kindness. "You have saved our realm and restored balance. Your heart is pure, and your spirit is brave." Lila returned to Brightwood, where the Heartwood Tree's magic was once again vibrant and strong. The village celebrated her bravery with a grand feast, and the tale of her adventure became a cherished story passed down through generations. And so, Brightwood thrived under the protection of the Heartwood tree, and Lila's heart remained forever enchanted by the magical realm she had saved. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by dense, ancient forests, there was a hidden realm known as the Forest of Whispers. This magical forest was known for its talking animals and enchanted creatures, but most of all, it was famous for its elusive, shimmering tree of wishes. The tree was said to grant one true wish to anyone who could find it and speak from their heart. In a small village on the edge of this forest lived a brave young boy named Finn. Finn had always dreamed of exploring the Forest of Whispers, but the village elders warned that it was a place of great magic and danger. Yet, Finn was determined to find the Tree of Wishes and help his village, which had been suffering from a long, harsh winter. One cold, snowy morning, Finn decided it was time to act. With a warm cloak and a satchel of supplies, he set out for the Forest of Whispers. As he entered the forest, he was greeted by a chorus of whispering leaves and a gentle breeze that seemed to guide him forward. The first creature he encountered was a wise old owl perched on a low branch. The owl's eyes twinkled with curiosity. To find the Tree of Wishes, the owl hooted, "You must pass through 3 trials, each revealing something important about yourself." Finn nodded and prepared for the first trial. He followed the owl's directions and soon arrived at a glistening, crystal-clear lake. At the center of the lake was a small, shimmering island with a single, beautiful flower growing upon it. The challenge was to retrieve the flower without disturbing the serene waters. Finn noticed a family of swans swimming peacefully around the island. He realized that if he were careful and patient, he could use a small boat to reach the island. He crafted a simple raft from fallen branches and gently paddled across, taking care not to upset the swans. When he reached the island, he picked the flower with great care and returned to the shore, having successfully completed the first trial. The second trial was set in a clearing where a large stone gate stood, covered in ancient runes. To open the gate, Finn needed to solve a riddle carved into the stone. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but I need water to survive. What am I?" Finn thought for a moment and answered, "A fire." The stone gate creaked open, revealing a path that led deeper into the forest. Finn followed the path, guided by the whispers of the forest and the faint glow of the moonlight. The third and final trial took Finn to a misty glade where the air was thick with enchantment. In the center of the glade stood a large, ancient tree with gnarled branches and glowing eyes. It was the Tree of Wishes itself, but it was surrounded by a barrier of magical mist. To approach the tree, Finn had to confront his deepest fear. As he neared the mist, he felt a wave of doubt and uncertainty. The fear of failure and the burden of his village's troubles weighed heavily on him. Finn took a deep breath and spoke aloud, acknowledging his fear and his sincere wish to help his village. The mist began to clear, and the Tree of Wishes spoke in a gentle, melodic voice. "You have faced your fears with bravery and honesty. Your heart is pure, and your wish is noble. Speak your true wish." Finn stepped forward and said, "I wish for my village to have warmth and prosperity, so that the harsh winter will end and we may all thrive together." The Tree of Wishes shimmered with a brilliant light. A warm, golden glow spread from the tree, traveling through the forest and reaching the village. The snow began to melt, the rivers flowed once more, and the village was soon surrounded by lush, green fields. When Finn returned to his village, he was greeted with joy and celebration. The villagers marveled at the sudden transformation and thanked Finn for his bravery and selflessness. The village flourished with the new warmth and abundance, and Finn's adventure became a beloved story passed down through generations. The Forest of Whispers remained a place of wonder and magic, and the Tree of Wishes continued to grant its gifts to those who approached with pure hearts. And so, the kingdom thrived, and Finn's courage and kindness were remembered as a beacon of hope and unity. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a serene land where emerald forests stretched as far as the eye could see, there was a mystical forest known as the Forest of Echoes. The forest was famous for its enchanting melodies, believed to be played by an ancient harp hidden deep within its heart. This harp was said to possess the power to bring harmony and joy to the land. In a quaint village nestled at the forest's edge, lived a kind and curious girl named Elara. She had grown up hearing tales of the magical harp and dreamed of one day hearing its melodies herself. One autumn morning, the village was struck by a misfortune. The once lively river that flowed through their land dried up, and the crops began to wilt. The village elder, wise and old, declared that the only way to restore prosperity was to find the enchanted harp and play its melodies once more. Elara, determined to help her village, decided to embark on a quest to find the enchanted harp. Armed with a small satchel of provisions and her unwavering spirit, she entered the Forest of Echoes. The first challenge, the Whispering Glade. Elara's journey took her to the Whispering Glade, a beautiful meadow where the wind carried the soft voices of the forest's inhabitants. As she wandered through the glade, she encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. To continue through the Whispering Glade, the owl said in a voice as smooth as silk, "You must solve this riddle. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Elara thought for a moment and replied, "A joke." The owl's eyes twinkled with approval, and it flapped its wings, revealing a hidden path through the meadow. Follow this path, and it will lead you to the next challenge. The second challenge, the River of Reflections. Elara followed the path to the River of Reflections, a tranquil river with crystal clear waters that mirrored the sky and the towering trees. The river was guarded by a majestic swan with feathers that glistened like moonlight. To cross the River of Reflections, the swan said gracefully, "You must answer this question. What has keys but can't open locks, has space but no room, and you can play it but not touch it?" Elara pondered the question and answered, "A piano." The swan's feathers glowed warmly, and it created a shimmering bridge of light across the river. Elara crossed the river with a renewed sense of determination. The third challenge, the Cavern of Echoes. On the other side of the river, Elara discovered the Cavern of Echoes, a grand cave filled with glowing crystals that cast mesmerizing patterns of light. At the entrance of the cavern stood an ancient door adorned with celestial symbols. A gentle voice echoed from within the cave, "To open this door and find the enchanted harp, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with a pure intention." Elara took a deep breath and spoke sincerely, "My deepest wish is to find the enchanted harp and bring its melodies back to my village, so that our land may be restored and filled with joy." The cavern's walls shimmered with a soft, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing the enchanted harp resting on a pedestal in the center of the cave. Its strings shimmered with an ethereal glow. The revelation, restoring the melody. With the enchanted harp in hand, Elara returned to her village. As she played the harp's strings, a beautiful melody filled the air, weaving through the village like a gentle breeze. The sound of the harp restored the river's flow, revitalized the crops, and brought a sense of harmony and joy to the land. The villagers gathered in awe as their once dry fields turned green, and the river sparkled with fresh water. The village elder praised Elara for her bravery and selflessness, and the tale of her quest became a beloved story in the village. The enchanted harp continued to play its melodies, a symbol of hope and the power of determination. Under the magical tunes of the harp, the village thrived, and the Forest of Echoes once again sang with joy. And so, the village lived in harmony and happiness, forever grateful for the courageous girl who had restored their land with the music of the enchanted harp. Once upon a time, in the peaceful village of Lumina, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there was a tale of an enchanted lantern. This lantern, said to be imbued with magical light, was rumored to grant a single wish to anyone who found it. The lantern had been lost for many years, and the villagers had long forgotten its whereabouts. In Lumina, there lived a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his adventurous spirit and his kind heart. He loved exploring the forests, helping his neighbors, and dreaming of grand quests. His parents, though modest, had always encouraged his curiosity and compassion. One winter evening, as the first snowflakes of the season began to fall, Finn's grandmother fell ill with a mysterious illness that no healer could cure. The village doctor did his best, but nothing seemed to help. Desperate to save his beloved grandmother, Finn remembered the story of the enchanted lantern. He decided to set out on a quest to find it, hoping its magic could bring her back to health. With a small backpack filled with supplies, a warm scarf, and a map of the old forest that he had found in his grandmother's attic, Finn ventured into the woods. The forest was beautiful in winter, with snow-covered branches and a serene silence. As Finn walked, he followed the clues from the map, which led him deeper into the heart of the forest. After a few hours of walking, Finn arrived at a clearing where a beautiful, ancient oak tree stood. The tree was adorned with shimmering icicles and glowing lanterns hanging from its branches. At the base of the tree was a small, wooden door, almost hidden by snow. With a deep breath, Finn opened the door and found himself in a cozy, dimly lit room. The room was filled with old, dusty books and glowing crystals. In the center of the room stood a wise old fox named Elara, who had been waiting for him. "Welcome, young seeker," Elara said with a gentle voice. "I am the guardian of the enchanted lantern. To prove your worthiness, you must first complete 3 tasks that test your courage, wisdom, and kindness." Finn nodded eagerly, ready to face the challenges ahead. Elara explained the first task, the trial of courage. Finn had to cross the frozen lake, which was said to be haunted by an ancient spirit. The spirit was known to scare away intruders with illusions and cold winds. Finn approached the lake, where a thick mist hovered over the surface. As he stepped onto the ice, he felt a chill and heard eerie whispers. The mist formed shadowy figures that seemed to reach out for him. Finn, however, focused on his goal and kept moving forward with determination. He remembered his grandmother's encouraging words in his own courage, and with each step, the shadows and mist began to dissipate. When he reached the other side of the lake, he found a small, glowing crystal embedded in the ice. He picked it up, and the spirit of the lake appeared, a shimmering figure of light. "You have shown true courage," the spirit said. "The path is now open." Elara then led Finn to the second task, the trial of wisdom. Finn had to solve a riddle that was inscribed on an ancient stone tablet. The riddle was, "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Finn thought carefully and remembered the stories and puzzles he had learned as a child. After a moment, he answered, "A joke." The stone tablet glowed brightly, and a secret door opened, revealing a path to the final trial. The third task was the trial of kindness. Finn found himself in a garden where a beautiful but tired flower was wilting. The flower's petals were drooping, and it seemed to be struggling to survive. Finn gently watered the flower and sang a soothing lullaby. As he cared for it with love and patience, the flower began to revive, its petals brightening and its fragrance filling the air. The garden bloomed with renewed life, and a gentle breeze carried a message from the flower: "You have demonstrated true kindness." With all 3 tasks completed, Elara led Finn to a hidden chamber where the enchanted lantern was kept. The lantern was radiant, its light casting a warm glow across the room. Elara handed it to Finn and said, "Your heart is pure, and you have earned the right to make your wish." Finn held the lantern close and thought about his grandmother. He made his wish, asking for her health to be restored and for happiness to return to his village. The lantern's light grew brighter, and a magical aura spread through the forest. When Finn returned to Lumina, he found that his grandmother had recovered and the village was thriving. The enchanted lantern's magic had not only healed his grandmother but also brought joy and prosperity to all. Finn's bravery, wisdom, and kindness were celebrated by everyone, and the tale of the enchanted lantern became a cherished story in Lumina. The lantern was placed in the village square, serving as a symbol of hope and the magic that resides in a kind and courageous heart. And so, Finn continued his life with the same adventurous spirit and compassion that had guided him on his quest, knowing that the true magic of the lantern was the power of love and selflessness. The end. In the heart of the enchanted forest, there was a hidden village called Luminera. It was a place where the trees glowed with a soft, silver light and the flowers danced in the moon's gentle breeze. The villagers of Luminera were known for their kindness and their ability to communicate with the magical creatures of the forest. One evening, as the full moon cast its ethereal glow over the village, a young girl named Mira wandered through the forest. Mira had always been curious and brave, with a heart full of dreams. She had heard tales of a mystical fountain hidden deep within the forest that was said to grant one wish to anyone who could find it. Myra's family had fallen on hard times, and she hoped that the legend of the moonlit fountain might bring them some relief. Guided by the moonlight and her intuition, Mira ventured deeper into the forest, past shimmering trees and twinkling fireflies. After a long journey, Mira stumbled upon a secluded grove. In the center of the grove was a fountain made of ancient, moonlit stone. The water in the fountain sparkled like liquid stars, casting a gentle light that illuminated the grove. Myra's heart raced with excitement and hope as she approached the fountain. As she neared, a gentle, melodious voice spoke from the shadows. "Who dares seek the moonlit fountain?" Mira looked around and saw a beautiful, wise-looking owl perched on a branch. "I am Mira," she said with determination. "I've come to make a wish for my family. We are in great need, and I believe this fountain can help us." The owl's golden eyes sparkled with understanding. "The moonlit fountain grants wishes, but only if the wish is pure and unselfish. To prove the sincerity of your heart, you must first complete a small task." The owl fluttered its wings and a glowing parchment appeared before Mira. On the parchment was a riddle: "I am not alive, yet I grow. I don't have lungs, yet I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Mira pondered the riddle, thinking of her family and their struggles. After a moment, a smile appeared on her face. "The answer is fire," she said confidently. The owl nodded approvingly. "You have solved the riddle. The moonlit fountain will now grant you one wish. Speak your wish with a heart full of love." Mira approached the fountain and gazed into the shimmering water. She closed her eyes and thought of her family, her village, and the happiness she wished for them all. With a deep breath, she made her wish aloud: "I wish for a blessing of prosperity and happiness for my family and for everyone in my village." The water in the fountain began to glow even brighter, and a soft, melodious song filled the air. The moonlight grew more intense, enveloping Mira in a warm, comforting glow. The owl spoke once more: "Your wish is granted, Mira. The magic of the moonlit fountain will bring joy and abundance to your family and village." Mira thanked the owl and the fountain, her heart filled with gratitude. As she made her way back to Luminera, she noticed that the forest seemed to sparkle even more brightly than before. The journey felt shorter, as if guided by an unseen hand. When Mira returned to her village, she was greeted with a sight that filled her with joy. The once modest homes were now transformed into vibrant, welcoming places. The fields were lush with crops, and the village's once quiet streets were alive with laughter and cheer. Her family was overjoyed, and the entire village celebrated Myra's return and the miraculous changes. The magic of the moonlit fountain had indeed blessed Luminera with prosperity and happiness. From that day on, Mira was known not only for her bravery but also for her pure heart. The tale of the moonlit fountain and the kind girl who found it became a cherished story passed down through generations, reminding everyone of the power of selflessness and the magic that can come from a wish made with love. And so, under the moonlit sky, the village of Luminera thrived in harmony, forever grateful for the blessings brought by a brave and kind-hearted girl. Once upon a time, in the serene kingdom of Alaria, there was a magical forest known as the Twilight Glade. This forest was famed for its stunning glow-in-the-dark flowers and the ancient moonstone, a powerful gem said to grant a single wish to those who proved their worth. The moonstone was hidden deep within the glade and could only be revealed during the night of luminous stars, when the sky was clear and filled with shimmering constellations. In the village of Sunhaven, just outside the forest, lived a compassionate and brave young woman named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness and her love for adventure. Her faithful companion was a wise and loyal tortoise named Bramble, who had a knack for solving puzzles and finding hidden paths. One evening, as the night of luminous stars approached, Mira and Bramble discovered an ancient, beautifully illustrated book in the village library. The book detailed the path to the Twilight Glade and the trials they would face to reach the moonstone. Excited and determined, Mira and Bramble set out on their journey as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky. The forest path was bathed in the soft light of the luminous stars, guiding them deeper into the twilight glade. The first challenge they encountered was the Glimmering Bridge, a magical bridge made of light that spanned across a sparkling river. The bridge was guarded by a playful spirit who spoke. Only those with true bravery may cross this bridge. To prove your worth, you must answer this question. What grows when shared and fades when kept? Mira thought carefully and then answered, happiness. The spirit nodded with a smile, and the glimmering bridge lit up brightly, allowing them to cross safely. On the other side of the river, they faced the maze of echoes, a labyrinth of shimmering walls that echoed with soft, melodic sounds. To navigate the maze, they needed to follow the echoes of a gentle, guiding melody. Bramble used his sharp ears to listen to the melodies, while Mira carefully followed the directions. They worked together to find the correct path, and after much effort, they emerged from the maze into a tranquil clearing. The final challenge was the moonlit grove, where the moonstone was hidden. The grove was filled with luminescent flowers and soft, ethereal light. At the center of the grove was a large, ancient tree with a riddle carved into its trunk. To find the moonstone, you must see with more than your eyes. What guides you through the dark and is found within your heart? Mira closed her eyes and thought deeply about the riddle. She realized that the answer was trust. She trusted in her journey, her friend, and her own heart. She spoke the word aloud, and the ancient tree's branches parted, revealing the moonstone nestled within its roots. The moonstone glowed with a soft, mesmerizing light, and Mira and Bramble approached it with awe. To make their wish, they needed to speak their heart's desire with sincerity. Mira wished for the well-being and happiness of her village and the entire kingdom of Elaria. I wish for peace and prosperity for all who live in Elaria, so that everyone may experience joy and harmony. As Mira's wish was spoken, the moonstone's light spread throughout the twilight glade and beyond. The magic of the moonstone touched every corner of the kingdom, bringing a sense of tranquility and joy. When Mira and Bramble returned to Sunhaven, they found the village transformed. The fields were lush, the people were content, and the kingdom thrived with a newfound sense of harmony and happiness. The story of Mira and Bramble's adventure and the magic of the moonstone became a cherished tale in Elaria, reminding everyone of the power of trust, bravery, and selfless wishes. And so, the Twilight Glade continued to be a place of magic and wonder, where dreams and wishes were fulfilled under the light of the luminous stars. The end. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there stood a mighty oak tree. This tree was home to many animals, but its most special treasure was the little acorn that hung from one of its branches. The little acorn was small but full of dreams. It often looked down at the forest floor and wondered what it would be like to grow into a big, strong tree just like its mother. The other acorns laughed at the little acorn because it was so small and always dreaming. "You'll never be as big as the oak tree," they teased. But the little acorn didn't listen to them. It believed in itself and knew that one day, it would be something great. One windy autumn day, the little acorn felt a strong breeze shake the branches of the oak tree. The wind was so powerful that it made the little acorn tremble. Suddenly, the little acorn lost its grip on the branch and began to fall. Down, down, down it tumbled, until it landed softly on the forest floor. The little acorn looked around and saw the tall grass, colorful mushrooms, and even a family of squirrels who lived nearby. Everything seemed so big, and the little acorn felt so small. But instead of being scared, the little acorn whispered to itself, "This is where my journey begins." The days grew shorter, and the air became colder as winter approached. The little acorn was soon covered by fallen leaves, which kept it warm and safe. Beneath the ground, something magical started to happen. The little acorn began to grow roots, and those roots slowly spread out, searching for water and nutrients in the soil. As winter turned to spring, the forest came alive with the sounds of birds chirping and animals waking up from their winter slumber. The little acorn had changed too. From the top of the acorn, a tiny green shoot emerged, reaching for the sunlight. Day by day, the shoot grew taller, until it became a small sapling with leaves of its own. The other plants and trees in the forest were amazed. "Look at that little sapling," they said. "It used to be just a tiny acorn, but now it's growing strong." The little sapling was happy but knew that its journey was far from over. Every day, it stretched its branches higher and dug its roots deeper, drinking in the sunshine and the rain. The sapling faced many challenges: strong winds, heavy rains, and even a hungry rabbit that nibbled at its leaves, but it never gave up. As the years passed, the sapling grew into a young oak tree. It wasn't as tall or as wide as the other trees yet, but it was sturdy and full of life. The animals in the forest came to know the young oak tree and admired its strength and determination. One summer, a terrible storm swept through the forest. The wind howled, and the rain poured down in sheets. The older trees, tall and strong, were shaken to their roots. Some even lost branches, and a few were uprooted entirely. But the young oak tree stood firm, its deep roots holding it steady in the storm. When the storm finally passed, the forest was quiet. The animals peeked out from their shelters and saw the damage the storm had done. But there, standing tall and proud, was the young oak tree. It had survived the storm without losing a single branch. The forest animals gathered around the young oak tree and cheered. "You were just a little acorn, but now you're a mighty oak. You've shown us all that size doesn't matter, it's the strength inside that counts." The young oak tree was filled with pride and joy. It had grown from a tiny acorn into a strong tree, just like it had always dreamed. And though it still had many years of growing ahead, it knew that it would continue to thrive, no matter what challenges came its way. From that day on, the young oak tree stood as a symbol of hope and courage in the forest. Whenever a new acorn fell to the ground, the animals would tell the story of the brave little acorn that never gave up. And as they listened, the new acorns would dream of the day they, too, would grow into strong, mighty oaks. And so, the little acorn story spread through the forest, inspiring every creature, big and small, to believe in themselves and to never give up on their dreams. And that, dear reader, is the tale of the brave little acorn, who grew into a mighty oak tree. The end. The secret of the Whispering Willow. Once upon a time, in a lush and verdant valley, there was a small village named Willowbrook. The village was named after the majestic willow tree that stood at the edge of a sparkling river, its long branches swaying gently in the breeze. The villagers believed that the tree was enchanted, for it was said to whisper secrets to those who listened carefully. At the heart of the village lived a curious boy named Finn. He was known for his adventurous spirit and his love of exploring the mysteries of the world around him. Finn had always been fascinated by the Whispering Willow, but no one had ever been able to decipher its secrets. The mysterious whisper one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a deep shade of purple, Finn decided to visit the Whispering Willow. He sat beneath its branches, listening to the soft rustling of its leaves. To his surprise, the whispers seemed clearer than ever before, as if the tree was trying to communicate with him. Finn closed his eyes and focused on the sound. The whispers gradually formed words, and Finn heard the tree speak. "The moon's light holds the key, follow the path where shadows flee." Intrigued and a little nervous, Finn decided to follow the tree's cryptic message. He waited until the moon was high in the sky, casting its silvery light over the village, and then set off to find the path where shadows fled. The moonlit path. As Finn wandered through the village, he noticed that the moonlight seemed to create a trail of shimmering light, leading him toward the forest at the edge of Willowbrook. The shadows of the trees appeared to retreat in the moon's glow, just as the Whispering Willow had said. Finn followed the trail deep into the forest, where the trees grew taller and thicker, their branches forming a dense canopy overhead. Despite the darkness, the moonlight guided him, illuminating the path before him. The forest was eerily quiet, with only the sound of his footsteps and the occasional rustling of leaves. Eventually, Finn reached a small clearing where a stone archway stood. The archway was covered in ancient carvings, and a soft glow emanated from within. Finn hesitated for a moment, then gathered his courage and stepped through the archway. The enchanted grove on the other side of the archway, Finn found himself in a beautiful grove bathed in moonlight. The air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and the ground was covered in soft, emerald green grass. In the center of the grove stood a crystal-clear pond, its surface reflecting the light of the moon like a mirror. As Finn approached the pond, he noticed something unusual. At the water's edge, there was a small, delicate flower that seemed to glow with an inner light. The flower's petals were a soft shade of blue, and its fragrance was unlike anything Finn had ever encountered. He knelt down to examine the flower more closely, and as he did, the whispers of the willow returned, clearer and more urgent than before. The moonflower blooms but once a night, its magic will set all things right. The power of the moonflower. Finn carefully plucked the moonflower, holding it gently in his hands. As he did, the grove seemed to come alive with light and sound. The trees rustled in the breeze, and the pond sparkled with 1,000 tiny stars. Finn felt a warmth spread through him, and he knew that he had discovered something truly magical. But what was he to do with the moonflower? The whispering willow's words echoed in his mind, and he realized that the flower's magic could be used to bring peace and prosperity to his village. A gift to the willow. Finn hurried back through the forest, following the moonlit path until he reached the whispering willow once more. He placed the moonflower at the base of the tree and stepped back, unsure of what would happen next. As soon as the flower touched the ground, the willow's branches began to glow with a soft, golden light. The whispers grew louder, filling the air with a soothing melody. The moonflower's light spread throughout the village, casting a warm, peaceful glow over every home and field. The villagers, who had been watching from a distance, marveled at the sight. They gathered around the whispering willow, their faces filled with wonder. The once quiet tree now sang a song of joy and harmony, its magic bringing a sense of calm and happiness to all who heard it. A village transformed from that day forward. Willowbrook flourished like never before. The crops grew taller and richer, the river flowed clearer and purer, and the villagers lived in harmony with one another. The whispering willow became a symbol of the village's prosperity, and Finn was hailed as a hero for uncovering its secret. The moonflower, which only bloomed once under the full moon, continued to grow at the base of the tree, its magic renewing the village's blessings each month. And though the whispering willow still whispered its secrets, the villagers no longer needed to decipher them, for they had found the key to living in peace and harmony. And so, under the watchful gaze of the moon and the gentle whispers of the willow, Willowbrook thrived, forever grateful to the brave boy who listened to the tree's song. Once upon a time, in a picturesque valley surrounded by towering mountains and verdant meadows, lay a serene village named Rivermist. The village was known for its gentle river that flowed through it and a mystical lake nearby, known as the Whispering Lake. The lake was said to have magical properties, whispering secrets and granting wishes to those who truly believed in its enchantment. The villagers held the Whispering Lake in high regard, but few had ventured close to it due to the legends of an elusive guardian that protected its magic. The guardian was said to be a graceful water nymph named Seraphina, who only revealed herself to those with a heart full of courage and purity. In Rivermist lived a young girl named Eloan, known for her adventurous spirit and kind heart. She had always been fascinated by the stories of the Whispering Lake and longed to discover its secrets. One day, while tending her garden, Eloan overheard a conversation about a terrible drought affecting a neighboring village. The villagers there were suffering, and Eloan felt a strong desire to help. Determined to find a way to bring relief, Eloan decided to seek out the Whispering Lake and its guardian, hoping that the lake's magic could offer a solution. She packed a small satchel with provisions and set off on her journey, following a winding path that led to the lake. As Eloan approached the Whispering Lake, she noticed its surface was unusually calm, reflecting the sky like a giant, shimmering mirror. The air was filled with the soft, melodious whispers of the lake, which seemed to guide her steps. Suddenly, a gentle mist rose from the lake, and from within it emerged Seraphina, the water nymph. Seraphina had flowing hair that sparkled like water under moonlight and eyes that glowed with a deep, emerald green. "Welcome, Eloan," Seraphina said in a voice as soft as the breeze. "What brings you to the Whispering Lake?" Eloan took a deep breath and replied, "I have come to seek the lake's magic to help a neighboring village suffering from a severe drought. I wish to bring them relief and restore their lands." Seraphina's eyes softened with empathy. "Your heart is pure, Eloan, but to gain the lake's blessing, you must first prove your worthiness by completing 3 tasks. Each task will test your courage, compassion, and wisdom. Iloan nodded, ready to face the challenges. Seraphina pointed towards a distant island in the center of the lake, where the first task awaited. The island was home to a giant, tangled thicket of thorny vines. At the heart of the thicket lay a trapped swan, its wings caught in the thorns. Iloan carefully navigated the thorns, freeing the swan with gentle hands. The swan, grateful and now free, revealed itself to be an enchanted prince. "You have shown great compassion," the prince said. "For your kindness, I shall grant you a feather of courage. Use it wisely." Iloan took the feather and continued to the next task, which was a series of floating platforms across the lake. The platforms were unstable, and a heavy storm had begun to brew, making the crossing treacherous. Iloan used the feather of courage to steady herself and carefully navigate the stormy waters, reaching the other side safely. There, a wise old turtle named Tortius awaited her. Tortius presented the final task. "To complete this challenge, you must solve a riddle. The answer will reveal the path to the lake's magic. Here is your riddle: I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Iloan thought for a moment and answered, "A map." Tortius nodded and pointed to a hidden grove behind him. In the center of the grove stood a magical spring, its waters glowing with an ethereal light. "You have proven your worth," Tortius said. "Drink from this spring, and you shall receive the lake's blessing." Iloan drank from the spring, and as she did, she felt a powerful, soothing energy flow through her. She returned to Seraphina, who smiled with approval. "The magic of the Whispering Lake is now yours to carry," Seraphina said. "Go forth and use it to bring relief to those in need." With the lake's blessing, Iloan journeyed back to the neighboring village, where she used the magic to create rain and rejuvenate the land. The drought was soon over, and the village flourished once more. The villagers celebrated Iloan's bravery and selflessness, and Rivermist and the neighboring village formed a lasting bond. And so, Iloan's tale of courage and compassion was passed down through generations, reminding all who heard it of the power of kindness and the magic that lies in a pure heart. Once upon a time, in a charming village surrounded by rolling hills and meadows, there was a tranquil lake known as Moonlit Lake. Every night, when the moonlight touched its surface, the lake would sparkle with magical colors, and it was said that the lake held the power to grant a single wish to those who showed true bravery and kindness. In this village lived a young girl named Lila, known for her gentle spirit and her love for animals. Her little brother, Tom, had fallen ill with a mysterious ailment that none of the village healers could cure. Lila, desperate to help Tom, decided to seek out the magic of Moonlit Lake in the hopes of finding a cure. One evening, under the light of a full moon, Lila set out for the lake. She walked through the meadows, her heart filled with both hope and anxiety. As she reached the edge of the lake, she marveled at the way the moonlight made the water glisten like a blanket of stars. A soft, shimmering voice greeted her. "Welcome, Lila. I am the spirit of Moonlit Lake. What brings you to my waters?" Lila took a deep breath and spoke with sincerity. "I have come to make a wish for my little brother Tom. He is very ill, and I hope that the magic of this lake can heal him." The spirit of the lake responded gently, "To receive the magic of the lake, you must first prove your bravery and kindness. There are 3 tasks you must complete. Only then will your wish be granted." Lila nodded, her resolve firm. "I will do whatever it takes." The first task led Lila into the enchanted forest, where she encountered a family of deer trapped by a fallen tree. The deer were frightened and unable to escape. Lila, with her strong will and gentle hands, carefully removed the branches and lifted the tree enough for the deer to get free. The grateful deer offered her a glowing feather as a token of their thanks. The second task was to cross a wide, raging river. The river was known for its swift currents and treacherous waters. As Lila approached the riverbank, she saw a family of beavers struggling to build a dam against the strong current. Without hesitation, Lila joined them, helping to reinforce the dam with sturdy branches and stones. Her hard work and determination helped the beavers complete their dam, creating a safe crossing point for her. The third and final task took Lila to the Whispering Grove, a place where the trees were known to speak in hushed tones. There, Lila encountered a grumpy old troll who guarded a bridge. The troll demanded a riddle be solved to pass. "Answer me this," the troll grumbled. "What can travel around the world while staying in a corner?" Lila thought carefully and then smiled. "A stamp." The troll's eyes widened in surprise, and he allowed her to cross the bridge with a nod of approval. With all 3 tasks completed, Lila returned to Moonlit Lake, carrying the glowing feather from the deer and the heartfelt thanks of the beavers and the troll. The spirit of the lake appeared once more, its voice warm and reassuring. "You have shown great bravery and kindness, Lila. Your heart is pure, and you have fulfilled the tasks set before you. Your wish shall now be granted." The spirit waved its hand, and a soft, golden light enveloped Lila. The light shimmered and then traveled through the night, reaching her home and gently touching Tom. As the light faded, Tom stirred and awoke, feeling stronger and healthier. When Lila returned home, she found Tom smiling and full of energy. The village celebrated the miraculous recovery, and Lila's bravery and kindness became a cherished story among the villagers. The moonlit lake continued to sparkle under the moonlight, its magic a reminder that true courage and kindness could bring about the most wonderful changes. In a lush, green valley surrounded by majestic mountains and sparkling streams, there was a peaceful village named Rivermist. The villagers were known for their harmony with nature and their joyful spirits. Among them was a young woman named Alara, who worked as a skilled cartographer. She had a special gift for drawing maps that captured not just the geography but the essence of the places she charted. One misty morning, while Alara was exploring a forgotten trail on the outskirts of the village, she stumbled upon an old, moss-covered chest buried beneath a tangle of ivy. The chest was intricately carved with symbols of stars and compass roses. Alara's heart raced with excitement as she carefully pried it open. Inside, she found an ornate compass that seemed to hum with a gentle, magical energy. The compass was unlike any Alara had ever seen. Its needle spun slowly, pointing not just north but to something elusive. An inscription on the back of the compass read, "Follow the compass to where hearts are true, and secrets of the world will be revealed to you." Curious and intrigued, Alara decided to embark on a quest to discover where the compass would lead. She packed a small satchel with essentials, some food, a warm cloak, and her trusty map-making tools. With the enchanted compass in hand, she set off towards the unknown. As Alara journeyed through forests and across meadows, the compass needle would occasionally spin and then settle, always pointing her towards an ever-changing direction. She followed its guidance through deep, whispering woods and over rolling hills until she reached the edge of a vast, shimmering lake. The compass led Alara to a small island in the middle of the lake, accessible only by a narrow stone bridge. On the island stood a grand, ancient tree with golden leaves that glistened in the sunlight. At the base of the tree was a large, intricately carved door, adorned with celestial motifs similar to those on the chest she had found. Alara approached the door and noticed a keyhole that matched the shape of the compass. With a deep breath, she placed the compass into the keyhole. The compass clicked into place, and the door creaked open, revealing a hidden chamber bathed in a warm, golden light. Inside the chamber was a beautiful, ornate mirror framed with twinkling gems. The mirror's surface was not a typical reflection but seemed to ripple like water. Alara approached it cautiously, and as she did, the mirror's surface began to show scenes of distant lands and fantastical creatures. A voice, gentle and melodious, spoke from the mirror. "Welcome, Alara. You have followed the compass with a heart full of curiosity and courage. The mirror reveals the heart's true desires and the wisdom one seeks." Alara looked into the mirror and saw not just landscapes but the faces of her friends and family. She saw visions of her village thriving and her maps guiding others to new and wondrous places. The mirror showed her that her true desire was not merely to uncover hidden places but to use her talents to enrich and uplift those around her. The voice continued, "The compass has guided you to this moment. Now, you have the power to share the secrets you have discovered with those who seek to explore the world and learn from its wonders. With a sense of clarity and purpose, Alara understood that the mirror's gift was not just knowledge but the ability to inspire and guide others. She thanked the mirror and left the chamber, taking with her the realization that her journey was as much about self-discovery as it was about exploration. Alara returned to Rivamist, where she began to use her newfound wisdom to create detailed and enchanted maps that revealed not only geographical features but also hidden wonders and magical places. Her maps became cherished treasures, guiding explorers and adventurers to places of beauty and discovery. The village of Rivermist flourished as a center of learning and wonder, and Alara's legacy lived on through the countless maps she created. The enchanted compass remained in a place of honor in her home, a reminder of the journey that had led her to understand the true essence of her heart's desires. And so, the tale of Alara and the enchanted compass became a beloved story, told to each new generation as a reminder that the greatest discoveries come from within and that true guidance comes from following one's heart with courage and integrity. Once upon a time, in the heart of the Whispering Woods, there was a mystical kingdom called Lumina. Lumina was known for its breathtaking beauty, with sparkling lakes, lush meadows, and an ancient forest that shimmered under the light of the moon. At the center of this enchanted forest was the Crystal Glade, where a legendary flower called the Sapphire Bloom grew only once every century. The Sapphire Bloom was said to have the power to grant a single wish to anyone who possessed it. In the village of Lumina lived a brave young girl named Eloan. She had heard many tales of the Sapphire Bloom and its magical powers. Her grandmother had once told her that the flower's magic could help her village, which was currently suffering from a terrible drought. Determined to help her people, Eloan decided to embark on a quest to find the Sapphire Bloom. Accompanied by her loyal companion, a clever fox named Sable, she set off towards the Crystal Glade. As Eloan and Sable ventured through the Whispering Woods, they encountered their first challenge, a wide, treacherous river that blocked their path. The river was known to be guarded by a wise old turtle named Tiberius. Tiberius appeared from the water, his shell adorned with ancient runes. To cross this river, Tiberius said, "You must answer a riddle. I can fly without wings. I can cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness flies. What am I?" Eloan thought for a moment and then replied, "A cloud." The old turtle nodded approvingly and created a magical bridge of shimmering mist that allowed Eloan and Sable to cross the river safely. Continuing their journey, they reached a dense part of the forest where the trees were enchanted to move and change their positions. The path seemed to twist and turn, leading them in circles. Eloan felt a pang of frustration but remembered a lesson from her grandmother about staying calm and observing her surroundings. She noticed that the trees were aligning themselves with the position of the sun and the moon. By carefully following the alignment, Eloan and Sable found their way through the shifting forest and arrived at the edge of the Crystal Glade. At the entrance of the glade stood a grand, ancient gate made of intertwined vines and flowers. The gate was guarded by a magnificent dragon named Aurelian. Aurelian's scales shimmered like molten gold, and his eyes were like fiery embers. "You have come seeking the Sapphire Bloom," Aurelian said in a deep, resonant voice. "But to obtain it, you must prove your heart's true intention. Show me why you deserve to receive the flower." Eloan took a deep breath and spoke with sincerity. "I seek the Sapphire Bloom to save my village from the drought. My people are suffering, and I wish to restore their land to its former beauty. I believe that with the flower's magic, I can bring hope and life back to my home." Aurelian's gaze softened, and he could see the purity of Eloan's heart. "Your intentions are noble," the dragon said. "You have proven your worthiness. The Sapphire Bloom is within the glade, but be warned, it is protected by a powerful enchantment." Eloan and Sable entered the glade, which was bathed in an otherworldly light. At its center was the Sapphire Bloom, its petals glowing like liquid starlight. As Eloan approached the flower, a swirling mist rose around it, creating a labyrinth of illusions. Determined, Eloan focused on the true beauty of the Sapphire Bloom and her purpose for seeking it. She closed her eyes and envisioned the thriving village she wished to help. As she did so, the mist began to dissipate, and the path to the flower became clear. With great care, Eloan picked the sapphire bloom and felt its warmth in her hands. She thanked Aurelian for his guidance and began her journey back to her village. When Eloan returned to Lumina, the villagers greeted her with joy and relief. She placed the sapphire bloom in the center of the village square, and as its magic was unleashed, the land began to transform. Rain clouds gathered and gentle rain fell, nourishing the parched earth. The once dry fields turned green, and flowers bloomed in vibrant colors. The villagers celebrated with a grand feast, honoring Eloan's bravery and selflessness. The sapphire bloom's magic had not only saved their village, but also brought them closer together. Eloan's tale became a cherished legend in Lumina, a reminder of the power of determination, kindness, and the magic that can be found when one follows their heart. The kingdom of Lumina thrived under the light of the sapphire bloom, living happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a land where rolling hills met sparkling rivers, there was a charming village named Luminera. This village was known for its beautiful night skies, filled with countless twinkling stars that seemed to dance across the heavens. The villagers believed that the stars held magic and that one person, known as the Star Weaver, could harness this magic to create wondrous things. The Star Weaver was a revered figure who lived in a quaint cottage at the edge of the village. Her name was Celestia, and she had the unique ability to weave the light of the stars into beautiful tapestries that brought joy and wonder to everyone who saw them. However, Celestia had grown old and could no longer climb the hills to collect the stardust needed for her weaving. The village's starry sky began to dim, and the villagers feared that the magic would fade forever. One bright night, a young girl named Mira, who was known for her curiosity and bravery, looked up at the fading stars and felt a deep sadness. Mira had always admired Celestia's work and wanted to help restore the magic. Determined to save the stars, she decided to set out on a quest to find the legendary Starlight Prism, a magical artifact said to enhance the power of the stars and bring them back to their former glory. With a small satchel of provisions and a lantern to light her way, Mira ventured into the nearby Whispering Woods, where the Starlight Prism was rumored to be hidden. The woods were known for their enchanting beauty but also for their challenges. As Mira wandered deeper into the woods, she came across a clearing where an ancient, wise-looking owl perched on a gnarled tree branch. The owl's feathers shimmered like moonlight. "Greetings, young traveler," the owl said in a gentle voice. "I am Oren, the guardian of the woods. If you seek the Starlight Prism, you must first prove your worthiness by completing 3 tasks." Mira nodded eagerly, ready to take on the challenge. Oren presented the first task, a glistening maze of vines that blocked her path. To proceed, you must find your way through this maze by listening to the whispers of the forest. Trust your heart. Mira stepped into the maze, her ears attuned to the soft, rustling whispers of the leaves. She followed the gentle guidance and soon found her way through the maze, emerging into a tranquil meadow. In the meadow stood a majestic tree with golden leaves. Beneath the tree, a graceful deer with antlers like branches awaited her. To continue, the deer said, "You must show your compassion. There is a wounded fawn in the forest. Help it, and you shall earn the next key." Mira followed the deer's directions and soon found the injured fawn, its leg caught in a trap. With gentle hands, she freed the fawn and tended to its wounds. The fawn nuzzled her in gratitude, and from its antlers, the deer gave her a sparkling, silver key. "Thank you for your kindness," the deer said. "This key will unlock the path to the final task." With the silver key in hand, Mira ventured further into the woods and came upon a crystal-clear pond. At its center floated a beautiful lotus flower, glowing with a soft, blue light. On a nearby stone sat a wise, old turtle named Eldrick. To complete the final task, Eldrick said, "You must solve this riddle. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Mira thought carefully and then answered, "A joke." Eldrick nodded in approval and gestured towards a hidden alcove where the Starlight Prism was nestled. Mira carefully retrieved the prism, its facets sparkling with 1,000 colors. With the Starlight Prism in hand, Mira made her way back to Luminera. She climbed the hill to Celestia's cottage and presented the prism to the old star weaver. Celestia's eyes sparkled with joy and relief. "This is the gift we needed," Celestia said, her voice filled with gratitude. She used the prism to weave a new tapestry, and as she worked, the stars began to shine brighter in the night sky. The village was soon bathed in the warm, magical glow of the restored stars. The villagers celebrated Myra's bravery and kindness, and Celestia's tapestries once again brought wonder and joy to everyone. Myra's adventure became a cherished story in Luminera, a reminder of the magic that exists in courage, compassion, and the light of the stars. And so, the village of Luminera thrived under the brilliant night sky, forever illuminated by the starlight that Myra had helped restore. Once upon a time, in the charming village of Elder Tree, nestled between emerald hills and a sparkling river, there was a legend about an enchanted orchard hidden deep in the Whispering Woods. The orchard was said to be a place of magic and wonder, where the fruit on the trees could grant extraordinary gifts. However, it was also said that only those with a pure heart and noble intentions could find it. The village was home to a young girl named Aria, known for her kindness and boundless curiosity. Aria had always been fascinated by the stories of the enchanted orchard, especially because her village was struggling with a mysterious blight that threatened their crops and livelihoods. Desperate to help, Aria decided to find the orchard and seek its magical fruit. One crisp autumn morning, Aria set out on her journey with a small satchel of supplies and a map she had carefully drawn from old stories. As she entered the Whispering Woods, the trees seemed to whisper encouragement, and the path ahead was bathed in a soft, golden light. The first challenge Aria encountered was the Gate of Seasons, guarded by a gentle fae named Leora. Leora's wings shimmered like autumn leaves as she spoke. To enter the enchanted orchard, Leora said, "You must show that you understand the balance of the seasons. Here is a riddle for you. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have eyes, but I need light. I don't have a mouth, but I need water. What am I?" Aria thought carefully and answered, "A plant." Leora smiled and opened the gate, revealing a path lined with trees that glowed softly with enchantment. Aria continued along the path until she arrived at the crystal pond, where shimmering water reflected the sky like a mirror. Floating on the water was a silver lily pad with a single, radiant pearl. A wise old turtle named Orin, who lived at the pond, greeted her. To retrieve the pearl, Orin said, "You must show patience and care. The water is delicate, and so is your heart. Show me that you can navigate the pond with gentle hands." Aria noticed that the pond was home to delicate fish that darted about playfully. Using a small boat she found nearby, she carefully navigated through the water, avoiding the fish and maintaining a steady course. She reached the lily pad, took the pearl, and returned to the shore, having shown the patience and care Orin had sought. The final challenge led Aria to the enchanted orchard itself. She arrived at a grand archway covered in vines and flowers. As she stepped through, she saw trees laden with glowing, magical fruit. However, the orchard was protected by a majestic griffin named Thorn, who guarded the entrance to the heart of the orchard. To take from the orchard, Thorn said, "You must demonstrate the true intent of your heart. To do so, you must answer this question: what is the greatest gift you can give, which cannot be bought or measured?" Aria thought deeply and responded, "The greatest gift is love and kindness, for it is not something that can be bought but is shared freely with others." Thorn nodded in approval, and with a majestic sweep of his wings, he allowed Aria to enter the heart of the orchard. There, she found a single, golden apple hanging from the highest branch of the oldest tree in the orchard. As she reached for the apple, the tree spoke in a gentle, rustling voice. "Pick this apple with a heart full of love and a wish for your village." Aria picked the apple and made a heartfelt wish for the blight to be lifted and for prosperity to return to Elder Tree. The apple glowed brightly, and a warm, golden light spread through the orchard. When Aria returned to her village, she found that the blight had vanished. The crops were lush and healthy, and the fields were green and vibrant once more. The villagers were overjoyed and celebrated Aria's bravery and selflessness. The enchanted orchard's magic had not only saved their crops but had also inspired a new sense of hope and unity within the village. Aria's adventure became a cherished story in Elder Tree, a reminder that true magic lies in the purity of one's heart and the kindness one shares with others. And so, the village of Elder Tree thrived, with Aria's courage and the orchard's magic bringing lasting joy and prosperity to the land. And they all lived happily ever after. In a serene valley surrounded by towering, ancient trees, there lay a hidden forest known as the Forest of Forgotten Dreams. Legend spoke of this mystical place where dreams that had been lost or abandoned over time took root and blossomed into something extraordinary. The forest was said to be enchanted, and only those with pure intentions and a brave heart could venture within its depths. In the nearby village of Meadowbrook, there lived a young woman named Ava. Ava was known for her kindness and creativity. She was a painter who brought color and life to even the dullest days. Despite her joy in painting, Ava felt a growing sense of melancholy, as if a dream she once cherished was slipping away from her grasp. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned a deep shade of violet, Ava was wandering near the edge of the Forest of Forgotten Dreams. She paused, captivated by the beauty and mystery of the forest. She had heard the legends but had never dared to enter. Tonight, she felt a strange pull, as if something inside her was urging her to explore the forest. With a mix of curiosity and trepidation, Ava stepped into the forest. The moment she crossed the threshold, she was enveloped in a shimmering, silvery mist. The trees were tall and majestic, their leaves shimmering with a soft, otherworldly glow. As Ava walked, she noticed that the forest was filled with the gentle hum of hidden melodies and the occasional whisper of the wind. After walking for what seemed like hours, Ava arrived at a clearing bathed in moonlight. At the center of the clearing stood an enormous tree with bark that sparkled like stardust. Its branches were adorned with countless glowing orbs that floated gently in the air, casting a warm, enchanting light. Approaching the tree, Ava saw a figure sitting beneath its branches. It was an elderly woman with a kind, wise face and a flowing robe that seemed to be woven from threads of moonlight. The woman looked up and smiled as Ava drew near. "Welcome, traveler," the woman said in a voice as soothing as a lullaby. "I am Seraphina, the guardian of the forest. You have entered the Forest of Forgotten Dreams, a place where dreams long lost are given new life. How may I assist you on your journey?" Ava hesitated before speaking. "I feel as if I have lost a dream that once meant everything to me. I hope that perhaps this forest might help me find it again." Seraphina nodded thoughtfully. "The dreams that come to this forest are like seeds that need nurturing. They may not always be as they once were, but they often reveal their essence in new and wondrous ways. Tell me, what was your dream?" Ava took a deep breath. "I once dreamed of painting a masterpiece that would capture the beauty and magic of the world around us. But lately, I feel as if that dream is slipping away from me, lost among the ordinary and mundane." Seraphina smiled warmly. "Follow me, and we shall see what the forest reveals." Seraphina led Ava to a small, tranquil pond at the edge of the clearing. The surface of the pond was perfectly still, reflecting the glowing orbs above like a sheet of liquid glass. As Ava gazed into the pond, she saw not just her own reflection but also visions of her past paintings and dreams. Each vision was vibrant and filled with life, but some were also tinged with shadows of doubt and fear. The pond began to ripple, and from its depths, a single, radiant flower emerged. The flower was unlike any Ava had ever seen, its petals shimmered with iridescent colors that shifted with every movement. The flower seemed to beckon Ava closer. "This is the bloom of inspiration," Seraphina said. "It holds the essence of dreams and creativity. To find your lost dream, you must nurture this bloom and allow it to guide you." Ava carefully picked the bloom and cradled it in her hands. She felt a surge of warmth and light as the flower's magic intertwined with her own. She realized that the dream she had lost was not gone but had become a part of her, waiting to be rediscovered and expressed anew. With the bloom of inspiration in her care, Ava made her way back to her village. She found that the experience had rekindled her passion and creativity. She began to paint again, infusing her work with the vibrant essence of the bloom. Her paintings captured not only the beauty of the world but also the magic and wonders she had rediscovered within herself. The villagers marveled at her work, which seemed to bring a new kind of joy and enchantment to their lives. Ava's paintings became renowned for their ability to inspire and uplift, and she realized that her dream had not been lost but had been transformed into something even more beautiful. As the years passed, the Forest of Forgotten Dreams remained a place of wonder and magic. Ava often visited the forest, finding new inspiration and dreams among its glowing orbs and magical blooms. Her story was passed down through generations as a reminder that dreams, once lost, could always be found again if one followed their heart with courage and creativity. And so, the legend of Ava and the Bloom of Inspiration continued to inspire countless others. Once upon a time, in a bustling kingdom known as Eldoria, there was a hidden workshop at the edge of the Whispering Woods. This workshop belonged to an elderly woman named Eloan, who was known for her exquisite weaving. What no one knew was that Eloan's loom was enchanted, capable of weaving not just fabric but the very threads of destiny. The loom was a marvel of magic and craftsmanship, adorned with intricate patterns that glowed softly in the moonlight. Eloan wove tapestries that told stories of the past, present, and future. The villagers admired her creations, but they were unaware of the true power hidden within the loom. One crisp autumn morning, a young girl named Mira, who lived in a nearby village, came to visit Eloan. Mira was a dreamer with a heart full of curiosity. She had always been fascinated by the stories of Eldoria's past and was eager to learn more about her own future. Eloan welcomed Mira warmly and offered her tea. As they chatted, Mira's gaze fell upon the enchanted loom, and she couldn't help but be drawn to its beauty. "What does this loom do, Eloan?" Mira asked. Eloan smiled, her eyes twinkling with the wisdom of ages. "This loom weaves the threads of destiny. It tells the story of our lives and the choices we make." Mira's eyes widened with wonder. "Can it show me my future?" Eloan nodded. "It can, but the future is always changing. It reveals possibilities rather than certainties." Intrigued, Mira asked if she could try weaving on the loom. Eloan agreed, guiding her through the ancient techniques of weaving. Mira's hands moved gracefully, and as she worked, the loom began to glow with a soft, golden light. Suddenly, the loom revealed a tapestry that showed a path through a dense forest. At the end of the path was a magnificent, golden tree, its branches reaching towards the sky. Beneath the tree was a figure with a radiant aura, surrounded by light. Eloan studied the tapestry and said, "This shows a glimpse of a great journey. The golden tree represents a moment of destiny. To reach it, you must venture through the Whispering Woods and overcome challenges that will test your heart and courage." Mira felt a surge of excitement. "I want to go on this journey. How can I find the golden tree?" Eloan handed Mira a small, enchanted compass. "This compass will guide you. Follow its direction and trust in yourself. The Whispering Woods can be tricky, but your heart will lead you true." With the compass in hand, Mira set off towards the Whispering Woods. The forest was magical, with trees that whispered secrets and streams that sang sweet melodies. Mira followed the compass's guidance, encountering various challenges along the way. She faced a riddle posed by a mischievous sprite, who demanded an answer before allowing her to pass. Mira used her wit and kindness to solve the riddle, gaining the sprite's respect and a clue to her path. Next, Mira encountered a majestic stag whose antlers sparkled like stars. The stag challenged her to a test of bravery, asking her to cross a bridge made of shimmering light that spanned a deep chasm. Mira, though frightened, trusted in herself and crossed the bridge with courage. Finally, Mira reached a clearing where a fierce storm raged. The compass pointed directly towards the storm, and Mira realized that the storm was a test of perseverance. With determination, she forged ahead, guided by the compass and her own inner strength. As Mira emerged from the storm, she found herself beneath the golden tree from the tapestry. The tree's branches glowed with a warm, inviting light. Beneath it stood a wise, ethereal figure who welcomed Mira with a gentle smile. "You have proven yourself worthy, Mira," the figure said. The golden tree represents the realization of your true potential. You have shown courage, wisdom, and kindness in your journey. This tree will grant you a gift that will help you fulfill your destiny. The figure presented Mira with a golden thread, shimmering with the light of the tree. This thread is a symbol of your journey and the possibilities that lie ahead. Use it to weave your own path and help others along the way. Mira thanked the figure and made her way back to Eldoria with the golden thread. She returned to Eloan's workshop, where she shared her adventure and the gift she received. Eloan was pleased and proud. You have discovered the true magic of the loom and the importance of following your heart. The golden thread will serve as a reminder of your journey and the light you carry within. Mira used the golden thread to weave beautiful tapestries that told the stories of her adventure and the lessons she learned. Her tapestries inspired others to embark on their own journeys and embrace the possibilities of their destinies. And so, Mira's bravery and the enchanted loom's magic became a cherished legend in Eldoria, reminding everyone that the threads of destiny are woven with courage, wisdom, and the light of the heart. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between misty mountains and sparkling rivers, there was a small village called Bramblewood. Bramblewood was known for its lush meadows and friendly people, but its most treasured possession was a legendary artifact, the Golden Compass. This magical compass was said to guide its bearer to their heart's true desire. For years, the Golden Compass had been kept in the village's ancient tower, guarded by a wise old keeper named Master Finn. The compass had always pointed true, guiding many villagers in their quests and adventures. But as time passed, its magic began to fade, and the compass's needle no longer moved with certainty. One day, a young and curious girl named Lyra arrived in Bramblewood. Lyra was known for her adventurous spirit and her love of stories. When she heard about the Golden Compass and its fading magic, she felt a strong urge to help. She believed that the compass's magic was tied to the dreams and wishes of the villagers, and she decided to seek out the source of the problem. Lyra approached Master Finn and asked, "How can I restore the magic of the Golden Compass?" Master Finn looked at her kindly. "The compass's power wanes because it has lost its connection to the dreams of those it has guided. To restore it, you must journey to the enchanted lake at the edge of the kingdom. There, you will find the Moonstone, which holds the key to renewing the compass's magic. But be wary, the journey is not without peril." Determined, Lyra set off on her quest. She traveled through dense forests and over rolling hills, guided by the last faint glimmer of the compass. Along her journey, she faced several challenges. First, Lyra encountered a deep chasm with no visible way across. As she pondered her predicament, she noticed a series of stepping stones appearing and disappearing in the chasm. By carefully timing her steps, she managed to cross safely. Next, she reached the Whispering Forest, where the trees seemed to whisper riddles and secrets. To navigate through the forest, Lyra had to solve a riddle posed by the trees. "I am taken from a mine, and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I?" Lyra thought hard and answered, "A pencil." The trees parted, revealing a path to the enchanted lake. As she arrived, she saw the Moonstone resting on a pedestal in the center of the lake. To reach it, she had to cross a series of floating lily pads. Each pad glowed softly, but some were unstable and would sink if she stepped on them. With careful balance and a steady heart, Lyra crossed the lily pads and reached the Moonstone. As she touched it, the stone began to glow brightly, and a shimmering bridge of light appeared, leading her back to the shore. Lyra returned to Bramblewood with the Moonstone, which she placed alongside the Golden Compass. As the Moonstone's light touched the compass, the needle began to spin with renewed energy, glowing with a warm, golden light. The compass's magic was restored, and it now pointed true with unwavering certainty. The villagers rejoiced, grateful to Lyra for her bravery and determination. They celebrated with a grand feast and honored Lyra with a special ceremony. Master Finn approached Lyra and said, "You have not only restored the compass's magic but also reminded us of the importance of dreams and hope. The Golden Compass will now guide future generations with its renewed power." As the festivities continued, Lyra felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had not only achieved her goal but had also learned the value of perseverance and the power of following one's heart. With a heart full of joy, Lyra bid farewell to the villagers and continued her adventures, carrying with her the lessons she had learned and the memories of her quest. The golden compass remained a cherished symbol of hope and guidance in Bramblewood, its magic forever intertwined with the dreams and aspirations of those who sought its wisdom. And so, Bramblewood flourished, guided by the golden compass and the spirit of adventure that Lyra had rekindled. The village thrived under the watchful glow of the compass, its light a beacon of hope for all who ventured forth. Once upon a time, in a serene valley surrounded by gentle hills, there was a small village where magic was a part of everyday life. The village was known for its beautiful gardens, vibrant markets, and, most importantly, an ancient willow tree that stood at the center of the village square. The willow was called the Whispering Willow, for it was said to have the power to grant wishes to those who truly believed. In this village lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was kind-hearted and always eager to help others. She had a special bond with the Whispering Willow, often sitting beneath its branches to seek comfort and inspiration. However, Elara's village was facing a severe problem, an endless drought that had withered their crops and left the villagers in despair. One evening, as Elara sat beneath the willow tree, she whispered her heartfelt wish to the ancient tree, "Please help our village. We need water to save our crops and bring life back to our home." The willow's branches swayed gently, and its leaves rustled as if in response. The next morning, the village elder approached Elara with an old, weathered map that had been discovered in a hidden chest in the elder's attic. The map seemed to indicate the location of a magical spring that could end the drought, but it was located deep in the Forbidden Forest, a place no one had ventured into for generations due to its mysterious and dangerous reputation. Determined to help her village, Elara decided to embark on the journey to find the magical spring. With the map in hand, she packed some provisions and set out, accompanied by her loyal dog, Finn. As Elara and Finn ventured into the Forbidden Forest, they encountered their first challenge, a dense fog that obscured their path. The fog was enchanted to disorient travelers, making it difficult to find their way. Elara noticed that the fog seemed to part slightly whenever she spoke kindly to it. Using her gentle words and her kindness, she and Finn made their way through the fog and emerged into a clearing. In the clearing, they found a beautiful, ancient stone archway adorned with glowing runes. The archway was the entrance to the deeper part of the forest, and Elara could feel its magic pulsating. As they walked through the archway, they came across a wise old fox named Thorn, who was known to guard the forest's secrets. Thorn greeted them with a curious gaze. "To continue on your quest, you must complete 3 tasks," he said. "Only then will you be worthy of finding the magical spring." Task 1, the Trial of Courage. The first task was to retrieve a silver feather from the nest of a majestic griffin perched high on a cliff. The griffin was known for its fierce protection of its nest. Elara and Finn climbed the cliff carefully, making sure not to disturb the griffin. When they reached the nest, Elara spoke softly and respectfully to the griffin, explaining her quest. The griffin, sensing her pure intentions, allowed her to take a single feather. Task 2, the Trial of Wisdom. The second task involved solving a complex puzzle created by the forest's magic. The puzzle was a series of intricate patterns formed by glowing mushrooms on the forest floor. Elara had to rearrange the mushrooms to match a hidden pattern that would reveal the next part of the path. Using her sharp mind and careful observation, Elara solved the puzzle, and a hidden pathway opened before them. Task 3, the Trial of Compassion. The final task required Elara to help a wounded fawn find its way back to its family. The fawn had been separated from its herd and was frightened and weak. Elara used the silver feather to comfort and guide the fawn, showing it kindness and patience. With Finn's help, they led the fawn back to its family, who welcomed the fawn with gratitude. Having completed the 3 tasks, Elara and Finn reached the heart of the Forbidden Forest, where they found the magical spring. The spring was a crystal-clear pool surrounded by glowing flowers and vibrant vegetation. Elara filled a small vial with the water from the spring, which shimmered with a soothing, blue light. Returning to the village, Elara poured the magical water onto the withered crops. As the water touched the earth, it transformed the barren fields into lush, green meadows. The villagers rejoiced as their crops began to flourish once more, and the village returned to its vibrant state. The Whispering Willow, pleased with Elara's bravery, wisdom, and compassion, whispered a final blessing: "May the spirit of kindness and courage always guide you and your village." Elara's adventure became a treasured tale in the village, a story of hope and perseverance that inspired everyone. The village thrived, and the Whispering Willow remained a symbol of the magic that lives in acts of courage, wisdom, and compassion. And so, the village flourished under the warm sun and lush fields, with Elara's legacy of kindness and bravery living on in the hearts of all. The end. Once upon a time, in a lush, green valley surrounded by towering mountains, there was a peaceful village named Everwood. The village was known for its vibrant meadows, enchanted forests, and a crystal-clear pond at its center, which was rumored to have magical properties. The pond was said to grant one wish every 100 years, but it had been centuries since anyone had made a wish or seen the magical results. In this village lived a clever and kind-hearted young girl named Eloan. Eloan loved exploring the forest and had a special bond with the animals that lived there. One sunny afternoon, while wandering near the crystal pond, Eloan spotted a beautiful silver fox with a bushy tail and shimmering fur. The fox had eyes as bright as sapphires and seemed to be searching for something. Intrigued, Eloan approached the fox. "Hello, friend," she said gently. "Can I help you with something?" The silver fox turned to her and spoke in a soft, melodic voice. "I am in search of the Moonstone, a gem of great power that was lost long ago. It is said that the Moonstone is hidden near this pond, and I need it to restore balance to the magical creatures of the forest." Eloan was fascinated and offered to help the silver fox in its quest. Together, they began searching the area around the pond. As they searched, the fox told Eloan about the Moonstone's history. It had once been a source of light and harmony, but it was stolen by a dark sorcerer who wished to use its power for evil. The sorcerer had hidden the Moonstone, and its absence had caused discord among the magical creatures. As they searched, Eloan noticed that the pond's water seemed to glow softly in the moonlight, and there was a gentle hum coming from beneath the surface. Guided by the light and the hum, she and the fox waded into the pond. Eloan reached into the water, feeling around until her fingers touched something smooth and cool. She pulled out a small, ornate box covered in ancient runes. The box was intricately carved with symbols of the moon and stars. With the fox's guidance, Eloan opened the box, revealing the Moonstone nestled inside. It was a gem of breathtaking beauty, radiating a soft, silvery light that seemed to dance with the reflection of the moon. The silver fox's eyes sparkled with joy. "You have found it. Now we must return it to the heart of the forest, where it belongs." Eloan and the silver fox journeyed deeper into the forest, guided by the light of the Moonstone. They passed through dense thickets and over sparkling streams, following a path that seemed to be illuminated by the gem's glow. Along the way, they encountered various magical creatures, talking birds, gentle deer, and mischievous fairies, all of whom thanked Eloan for finding the Moonstone. When they reached the heart of the forest, a sacred grove surrounded by ancient trees and shimmering flowers, the silver fox placed the Moonstone on a pedestal at the center of the grove. As the Moonstone was set in place, it released a brilliant burst of light that filled the entire grove with a warm, soothing glow. The balance was restored to the forest, and the magical creatures rejoiced. The trees seemed to hum with renewed vitality, and the flowers bloomed more brightly than ever. The silver fox turned to Eloan with gratitude in its eyes. "You have done a great deed. The Moonstone is where it belongs, and harmony has been restored." As a token of their thanks, the creatures of the forest presented Eloan with a small, delicate charm made from the petals of enchanted flowers. The charm glowed softly, a symbol of the magical bond she had formed with the forest. Eloan returned to Everwood, where she was welcomed as a hero. The village celebrated her bravery and kindness with a grand feast, and the crystal pond became a place of wonder and peace once more. The magical creatures of the forest continued to visit the village, sharing their stories and adding to the village's charm. The tale of Aloan and the Silver Fox became a cherished legend in Everwood, a story told to every child as a reminder of the power of courage, kindness, and the magic that exists in every corner of the world. And so, the valley thrived in harmony, with Aloan's heart forever connected to the enchanted forest and the shimmering moonstone. Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley surrounded by majestic mountains, there was a village named Harmony Hollow. This village was famous for its breathtaking, colorful flowers that bloomed all year round, thanks to the magic of a benevolent spirit named Flora, who dwelled in the heart of the Whispering Woods nearby. Flora was known for her kindness and her gift of bringing life and color to the land. She would sprinkle magical dew on the flowers each morning, ensuring that Harmony Hollow remained vibrant and beautiful. The villagers adored Flora and would often leave small gifts and tokens of appreciation at the edge of the Whispering Woods. One spring morning, as Flora was tending to her garden of magical blooms, she noticed something troubling. The colors of her flowers were starting to fade, and the once lush leaves were turning brown. Flora's heart sank as she realized that the magic sustaining her garden was waning. Desperate to restore the vitality of the flowers, Flora decided to seek help from the mystical Rainbow Fountain, a legendary source of great magic said to be hidden deep within the enchanted glade. Flora knew that the journey to the Rainbow Fountain was perilous and that she needed a brave companion. She summoned her friend, a young and courageous girl named Mia from Harmony Hollow. Mia had always admired Flora's magic and was eager to help. Flora explained the situation and asked Mia to accompany her on the quest to the enchanted glade. With a nod of determination, Mia agreed. The two set off through the Whispering Woods, where the trees seemed to whisper encouraging words as they passed. Their journey took them through enchanted meadows, over sparkling streams, and into the heart of a mysterious mist that concealed the entrance to the enchanted glade. As they ventured deeper into the mist, the path became less clear, and shadows danced around them. Flora and Mia reached a shimmering archway leading into the glade. Beyond the archway lay the Rainbow Fountain, a magnificent waterfall cascading with liquid light in every color of the rainbow. The sight was breathtaking, but their joy was short-lived. At the base of the fountain, they found an old, rusted chest with a faded inscription: "To restore the magic, one must prove their heart's true desire." The chest was locked, and beside it was a riddle inscribed on a golden plaque: "I am not alive, yet I grow. I do not have lungs, yet I need air. I do not have a mouth, yet water kills me. What am I?" Mia pondered the riddle carefully. Flora, sensing Mia's deep focus, encouraged her. After a moment, Mia's eyes lit up with understanding. "A fire," she answered confidently. The chest creaked open, revealing a sparkling, golden key inside. Flora took the key and unlocked a hidden compartment in the Rainbow Fountain. The compartment contained a small, radiant vial filled with shimmering liquid. "This is the essence of eternal bloom," Flora explained. "It will restore the magic of the Whispering Woods." With the vial in hand, Flora and Mia made their way back to Harmony Hollow. Flora carefully sprinkled the essence of eternal bloom over the fading flowers and plants in her garden. As the liquid touched the leaves and petals, they began to regain their vibrant colors, and the garden once again flourished with an array of dazzling hues. The villagers of Harmony Hollow were overjoyed to see their beloved garden revived. They celebrated Flora and Mia with a grand feast and heartfelt gratitude. Flora thanked Mia for her bravery and determination, and the two friends shared a moment of happiness as they looked upon the beautiful garden that had been saved. From that day on, Flora's magic continued to bring life and color to Harmony Hollow, and Mia's bravery became a cherished tale in the village. The enchanted glade and the Rainbow Fountain remained a symbol of hope and renewal, and the bond between Flora and Mia became a lasting friendship that was remembered for generations to come. And so, Harmony Hollow thrived in the glow of its renewed beauty, and Flora and Mia lived happily, knowing that true friendship and courage could overcome any challenge. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by lush forests and sparkling lakes, there was a legend about an enchanted compass. This compass was said to point not just towards north but towards one's heart's true desire. It had the power to guide its holder to their deepest wish, but only if they were pure of heart and true in their quest. In this kingdom lived a brave and kind-hearted boy named Finn. Finn was known throughout the land for his adventurous spirit and his desire to help others. Recently, his village had fallen on hard times, with crops failing and the once joyous river running dry. Finn believed that finding the enchanted compass could bring prosperity back to his home. One bright morning, with the sun shining and the birds singing, Finn decided to set off on a quest to find the enchanted compass and restore his village's fortune. The first challenge, the Whispering Glade. Finn's journey began in the Whispering Glade, a mystical clearing in the forest where the trees were said to communicate through gentle rustling sounds. As he ventured into the glade, he encountered a wise old tortoise with a shell that seemed to sparkle with tiny stars. To proceed through the Whispering Glade, the tortoise said in a slow, deliberate voice, "You must solve this riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Finn pondered the riddle and answered, "An echo." The tortoise's eyes twinkled with approval, and it slowly turned to reveal a hidden path. "Follow this path to continue your journey," the tortoise advised. The second challenge, the Enchanted River. Finn followed the path and soon arrived at the Enchanted River, a shimmering river with waters that sparkled with a rainbow of colors. The river was guarded by a graceful water sprite with translucent wings and a serene smile. To cross the Enchanted River, the sprite said with a musical voice, "You must answer this question: what can travel around the world while staying in a corner?" Finn thought carefully and replied, "A stamp." The water sprite's eyes lit up with delight, and with a graceful wave of her hand, she created a bridge of glowing stones across the river. Finn crossed the bridge, feeling more determined with each step. The third challenge, the Cave of Reflections. On the other side of the river, Finn discovered the entrance to the Cave of Reflections, a grand cavern with walls that mirrored the light in mesmerizing patterns. At the entrance of the cave was a large, ornate door covered in intricate patterns of stars and moons. A gentle, echoing voice came from within the cave, "To unlock this door and find the enchanted compass, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with sincerity." Finn took a deep breath and spoke earnestly, "My deepest wish is to find the enchanted compass and use its power to restore prosperity and joy to my village. I want to help my people and bring back the happiness that we have lost." The cave's walls began to glow with a warm, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing a chamber bathed in a soft, ethereal light. In the center of the chamber, on a pedestal of shimmering crystal, rested the enchanted compass. The revelation, the compass's gift. With the enchanted compass in his hands, Finn felt a surge of hope and determination. The compass's needle spun and then pointed towards a distant, hidden location. Finn followed the direction indicated by the compass and soon found himself at the edge of his village. As he held the compass high, its magic began to awaken. A brilliant light emanated from the compass, spreading across the land. The once dry river flowed with sparkling, clear water, and the fields turned lush and green, filled with vibrant crops and blooming flowers. The villagers gathered in awe, watching as their land transformed before their eyes. They celebrated Finn's bravery and the magic of the enchanted compass, grateful for the return of their prosperity and happiness. The tale of Finn's quest and the enchanted compass became a cherished story in the kingdom. A reminder of the power of a pure heart and the magic that can be found in even the simplest of things. Under the restored beauty of the land and the magic of the enchanted compass, the village thrived once more, forever grateful for the boy who had brought their dreams to life. Once upon a time, in a quaint village named Willowbrook, nestled between lush, rolling hills and sparkling streams, there was an ancient forest known as the Enchanted Forest. This forest was a place of mystery and wonder, with towering trees that whispered secrets and flowers that bloomed in colors unseen anywhere else. Legend spoke of a magical heart hidden deep within the forest, said to grant the purest of wishes. Among the villagers was a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his adventurous spirit and unyielding curiosity. He had often heard tales of the enchanted forest and the magic it held, but he had never ventured inside. One crisp autumn morning, When the leaves were turning golden and the air was filled with the scent of pine, Finn decided to seek out the heart of the forest. With a small satchel of provisions, a sturdy walking stick, and a heart full of determination, Finn set out on his adventure. As he entered the enchanted forest, he felt a sense of wonder and excitement. The forest was alive with the sounds of rustling leaves and chirping birds, and beams of sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, creating a dance of light and shadow on the forest floor. Finn followed a winding path marked with glowing mushrooms and twinkling fireflies. The deeper he went, the more magical the forest became. He soon came across a sparkling stream with water so clear it seemed to shimmer with stars. As he knelt to take a drink, a gentle voice spoke from the water. "Brave traveler, what brings you to the heart of the enchanted forest?" Startled but composed, Finn looked around and saw a small, wise-looking fish with scales that sparkled like gems. "I seek the heart of the forest," Finn replied. "I want to make a wish that will bring joy to my village." The fish's eyes twinkled with understanding. "To find the heart, you must pass 3 trials. Each trial will test your courage, wisdom, and kindness. Only those who are true of heart will succeed." With a nod, Finn agreed to the challenge. And the first trial began. The path led him to a dark and eerie part of the forest where he faced a daunting, tangled thicket. The thicket was alive with shadows that seemed to reach out and grab at him. Finn's heart raced, but he remembered the stories of courage and took a deep breath. He noticed that the shadows were merely illusions created by the shifting light. By carefully navigating through the thicket and staying calm, Finn found a hidden path that led him safely through the darkness. The second trial brought Finn to a clearing with a massive, ancient tree at its center. The tree's bark was etched with intricate patterns, and at its base was a large, locked chest. An inscription on the chest read, "Only the wise can unlock the secrets within." Above the chest floated a riddle: "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Finn pondered the riddle, remembering the stories he'd heard. After a moment of thought, he answered, "A joke." The chest's lock clicked open, and inside was a golden key. Finn took the key, knowing it was meant for the next trial. The final trial led Finn to a grove where a beautiful, delicate flower was wilting on the ground. The flower's petals were losing their color, and it seemed to be fading away. A soft, mournful voice echoed from the flower. "To save me, you must give something precious from your heart," the voice said. Finn felt a pang of sadness but looked around for something he could offer. He remembered the golden key he had found and realized that his desire to help the flower was more important than keeping the key. He gently placed the key beside the flower and made a heartfelt wish for its revival. As he did, the flower's petals regained their vibrant color, and it bloomed more beautifully than before. A soft, warm light enveloped the grove, and the forest seemed to come alive with joy. The flower's voice spoke again, "You have passed all 3 trials with bravery, wisdom, and kindness. The heart of the forest is now revealed to you." A hidden glen appeared, illuminated by a radiant, golden light. In the center of the glen was a magnificent heart-shaped crystal, pulsing with a warm, comforting glow. Finn approached the crystal and made his wish, "I wish for the happiness and prosperity of my village." The crystal's light expanded and enveloped the entire enchanted forest, sending waves of magic toward Willowbrook. When Finn returned to his village, he found it transformed. The fields were lush, the rivers were clear, and the villagers were filled with joy and prosperity. The enchanted forest continued to thrive, and Finn's bravery and kindness became a cherished legend in Willowbrook. The heart of the forest remained a symbol of the magic that lives in selfless wishes and the wonders that can be found when one truly believes in the extraordinary. And so, the village of Willowbrook flourished under the enchantment of the forest, and Finn's adventure became a timeless story of courage, wisdom, and the power of a pure heart. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by lush green hills, there stood an ancient willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. The villagers believed that the tree held magical powers, for whenever the wind rustled its leaves, it seemed to whisper secrets of the past and future. In this village lived a young girl named Lila. Lila was known for her kind heart and insatiable curiosity. She loved spending time near the Whispering Willow, where she would sit for hours, listening to the gentle whispers and imagining all the stories the tree might tell. One day, as Lila was sitting beneath the willow, she noticed something unusual. The whispers seemed more urgent, and the tree's leaves shimmered with an ethereal light. Intrigued, Lila placed her ear closer to the trunk, and a soft, melodic voice spoke directly to her. "Lila," the Whispering Willow said, "I need your help. A terrible curse has befallen our magical realm, hidden deep within the forest. Only someone with a pure heart and unwavering courage can lift the curse and restore balance." Lila's eyes widened with excitement and determination. She agreed to help the Whispering Willow and was given a small, golden acorn as a guide. The acorn glowed warmly and pointed toward a hidden path in the forest. Following the acorn's guidance, Lila ventured into the heart of the forest. The path was winding and filled with magical creatures, glowing fireflies, mischievous sprites, and talking animals. As she journeyed deeper, she encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. To lift the curse, the owl hooted, "You must seek the heart of the forest. It is guarded by the enigmatic shadow beast. Only by showing kindness and bravery can you overcome the beast and retrieve the heart." Thanking the owl, Lila continued on her quest. The path grew darker and more mysterious as she approached the heart of the forest. Soon, she reached a misty clearing where the shadow beast awaited. The beast was a majestic creature with shimmering fur and eyes that glowed like moonlight. It was both awe-inspiring and fearsome. Instead of attacking, the shadow beast spoke in a deep, rumbling voice. "Why have you come, young one? Do you seek to defeat me?" Lila stood tall and replied with conviction, "I am here to lift the curse and restore the balance. I seek the heart of the forest to help the Whispering Willow and my village." The shadow beast's eyes softened, and it regarded Lila with a mixture of surprise and admiration. "Many have come before you with strength and weapons, but none with such a pure heart. To prove your courage, you must pass my final test." The beast's test was one of compassion. It summoned a dark mist that enveloped Lila, making her feel lost and afraid. But Lila remembered the whispers of the Whispering Willow and the kindness she had shown on her journey. She focused on her heart's warmth and called out to the mist, expressing her wish to bring light and joy to those who were suffering. As Lila's words resonated, the mist began to dissipate, revealing the heart of the forest, a radiant gem pulsating with a soft, golden light. The shadow beast, now smiling, handed over the heart to Lila. "You have proven yourself worthy," the beast said. "Return it to the Whispering Willow and the curse will be lifted." With the heart of the forest in hand, Lila made her way back to the Whispering Willow. The tree's whispers were now filled with hope and gratitude. As Lila placed the heart at the base of the willow, a wave of light and magic surged through the forest, dispelling the darkness and restoring the realm's natural beauty. The village celebrated Lila's bravery and the return of harmony to the land. The Whispering Willow, now more vibrant than ever, continued to share its whispers, but now with stories of courage and kindness. Lila's adventure became a cherished tale in the village, and she often returned to the Whispering Willow to listen to its gentle whispers and to remember the magical realm she had saved with her heart full of courage and love. And so, the Whispering Willow stood tall, a beacon of hope and magic, reminding everyone of the power of a pure heart and the wonders that lie beyond the ordinary. Once upon a time, in the heart of the magical kingdom of Eldoria, there was a mysterious and ancient forest known as the Forest of Echoes. The forest was known for its magical properties, and every sound within it would echo back with a new meaning or lesson. Legend spoke of a hidden treasure deep within the forest that could only be found by someone who truly understood the echo's messages. In a nearby village lived a curious young girl named Lena. Lena was known for her inquisitive nature and her love for exploring the unknown. She had always been fascinated by the Forest of Echoes and the legend surrounding it. One day, her grandmother fell ill with a rare ailment that no healer could cure. Hearing that the forest might hold a cure or a solution, Lena decided to venture into the Forest of Echoes in search of the hidden treasure. Early one morning, Lena set off into the forest with a small satchel, a map of the forest's landmarks, and a heart full of hope. The forest was a labyrinth of towering trees, shimmering with mystical light, and a symphony of sounds that seemed to dance in the air. As Lena ventured deeper into the forest, she came across a babbling brook. As she leaned closer to listen to its soothing sound, the brook's echo spoke to her, "To find what you seek, you must listen with care. The path to the treasure is hidden, but the answers are there." Intrigued, Lena followed the sound of the brook and discovered a series of stepping stones leading across it. Carefully, she stepped from stone to stone, crossing the brook safely. On the other side, she saw a path winding through the forest, marked with glowing symbols on the trees. The next challenge came in the form of a dense thicket. As Lena made her way through, the rustling leaves and branches began to whisper. The echoes of their rustling carried a riddle. From the seed to the tree, what does it need to grow? It starts in the dark and reaches for the light, though. Lena pondered the riddle, remembering her grandmother's stories of nature and growth. She realized the answer was nurture. With this insight, she carefully tended to the thicket, moving branches and clearing the path. As she did so, the thicket parted to reveal a hidden glade bathed in golden sunlight. In the center of the glade was a magnificent tree, its branches adorned with sparkling fruits that looked like precious gems. At the base of the tree was a large, ancient door covered in intricate carvings. The echoes of the forest spoke again. "To enter the door, your heart must be true. A simple key lies within you." Lena understood that the key was not a physical object but a reflection of her own heart and intentions. She took a deep breath and placed her hand on the door. As she did, the carvings began to glow, and the door creaked open to reveal a beautiful, luminous chamber. Inside the chamber was a pedestal with a glowing crystal at its center. The crystal was the hidden treasure of the Forest of Echoes, known for its healing properties and its ability to grant wisdom. Lena approached the pedestal, and the echoes of the forest filled the chamber with a soothing melody. As she reached for the crystal, a gentle voice spoke from within the chamber. "You have shown courage, wisdom, and a kind heart. The treasure is yours to take, but remember, its power lies in its purpose." Lena carefully took the crystal and made her way back to the village. Upon her return, she used the crystal's healing magic to cure her grandmother and bring wellness to the entire village. The crystal's light brought hope and renewal, and the village flourished once more. Lena's bravery and kindness became a legend in Eldoria, and the Forest of Echoes was celebrated as a place of wisdom and magic. The story of Lena's journey was passed down through generations, reminding all who heard it of the importance of listening, understanding, and using one's heart to guide their way. And so, Lena continued to explore and learn, her heart ever open to the lessons of the world. The Forest of Echoes remained a place of wonder and enchantment, where every echo held a secret waiting to be discovered. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the skies were painted with stars and the moonlight danced across silver lakes, there was a hidden valley known as Etheria. This valley was blessed with a wondrous feature, a bridge made entirely of stardust. Each night, the bridge shimmered with 1,000 colors, connecting the realm of the ordinary with the land of dreams. In a quaint village at the edge of Etheria, lived a curious young girl named Leora. Leora loved gazing at the stars and often wondered what lay beyond the starry bridge. The villagers spoke of magical beings and enchanted lands, but no one had ever ventured across the bridge and returned to tell the tale. One evening, as the sky turned a deep indigo and the first stars began to twinkle, Leora decided it was time to uncover the secrets of the bridge. She packed a small bag with essentials, a lantern, a notebook, and a piece of honey cake her grandmother had baked. With a heart full of excitement and a touch of trepidation, she set off towards the glittering bridge. As Leora stepped onto the bridge, she felt a tingling sensation beneath her feet. The stardust was warm and soft, like stepping onto a cloud. The bridge sparkled with every step she took, and she marveled at how it seemed to pulse with the rhythm of the night. The journey across the bridge was enchanting. The stardust beneath her shimmered in hues of violet and gold, and the air was filled with the soft melodies of celestial music. As Leora approached the end of the bridge, she noticed a magnificent castle floating in the air, surrounded by clouds that sparkled like diamonds. This was the realm of dreams, a place where imagination and reality danced together. Upon reaching the castle, Leora was greeted by a graceful fairy named Lyra. Lyra had wings that glowed like moonlight and a crown of twinkling stars. "Welcome to the Dream Realm," Lyra said with a warm smile. "I am Lyra, and I've been expecting you." Leora was taken aback. "You were expecting me?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, the stars have whispered of your arrival. We need your help, Leora. Our dream realm is in trouble. The Dream Stone, which powers our world and keeps dreams alive, has been stolen by the Shadow of Woe." Leora's eyes widened. "The Shadow of Woe? What can I do to help?" Lyra's expression was serious but hopeful. "The Shadow of Woe resides in the gloomy cavern, deep within the forest of forgotten dreams. To retrieve the Dream Stone, you must face 3 challenges that test your courage, wisdom, and kindness." Without hesitation, Leora agreed to help. Lyra gave her a magical compass that would guide her through the forest and offered a piece of moonlight to light her path. With a determined heart, Leora set off on her quest. The forest of forgotten dreams was a maze of twisted trees and misty pathways. The first challenge awaited her, a giant, sleeping dragon guarding a shimmering key. Leora had to solve a riddle to awaken the dragon without frightening it. The riddle was, "What can you hold in your left hand but not in your right?" Leora thought for a moment and answered, "Your right hand." The dragon, pleased with her answer, gave her the key and wished her well. The second challenge was a puzzle made of floating, glowing stones that formed a bridge over a chasm. Leora had to arrange the stones in the correct pattern to cross safely. With patience and careful observation, she figured out the pattern and made it across. The final challenge was the most daunting, a test of kindness. The Shadow of Woe had transformed the forest creatures into gloomy, despairing beings. Leora had to lift their spirits by sharing stories of hope and joy. As she spoke of her village and the wonders of the Starry Bridge, the creatures began to smile and regain their light. Even the Shadow of Woe felt a change in its heart. When Leora reached the gloomy cavern, she found the Dream Stone hidden in a dark, cold corner. As she reached for it, the Shadow of Woe appeared, its form flickering with sadness and anger. Leora took a deep breath and spoke kindly to the shadow. "I know you're not truly wicked. You've been lonely and forgotten. Let us help you find joy again." The Shadow of Woe's dark form began to soften. With Leora's encouragement, the shadow transformed back into a gentle spirit. It revealed that it had stolen the Dream Stone out of desperation, hoping to be remembered. Leora offered her friendship and promised that it would always have a place in the Dream Realm. With the Dream Stone in hand, Leora returned to the castle. The Dream Stone was restored to its rightful place, and the Dream Realm once again shimmered with vibrant colors and joyful dreams. Lyra and the other inhabitants of the realm celebrated Leora's bravery and kindness. As a token of their gratitude, Lyra granted Leora a special gift, a small vial of stardust that would allow her to visit the Dream Realm whenever she wished. Leora thanked Lyra and the inhabitants of the Dream Realm before making her way back across the Starry Bridge. When she returned to her village, Leora shared her adventure with the villagers, inspiring them with stories of the Dream Realm and the magic of the Starry Bridge. And each night, as she gazed up at the stars, she knew that the bridge was not just a path between worlds but a symbol of the magic that lies in the courage and kindness of a single heart. Once upon a time, in a land where rolling hills met sparkling rivers, there was a peaceful village called Willowbrook. The villagers lived simple lives, tending their gardens and weaving tales of the enchanted forest that bordered their land. The forest was known for its mystery and magic, and it was said that a hidden kingdom lay deep within it. Among the villagers was a young boy named Finn, who loved exploring the forest more than anything. He was curious and brave, always dreaming of discovering the hidden kingdom spoken of in the old legends. The elders told tales of a kingdom where magical creatures lived and where wishes could come true, but no one had ever seen it. One day, as Finn ventured deeper into the forest than he ever had before, he stumbled upon an old, gnarled tree with a peculiar marking on its trunk, a crescent moon surrounded by stars. Intrigued, Finn traced the marking with his fingers, and to his surprise, the tree began to glow softly. As the glow grew brighter, a hidden door appeared in the tree's trunk. Finn, filled with wonder, opened the door and stepped through it. On the other side was a lush, vibrant meadow filled with flowers of every color imaginable. In the center of the meadow stood a grand archway made of entwined vines and sparkling gems. Finn walked through the archway and entered the hidden kingdom. To his amazement, the kingdom was more beautiful than he had ever imagined. It was a land of wonder, where fairies flitted about, and talking animals roamed freely. The skies shimmered with hues of pink and gold, and the air was filled with a sweet, melodious hum. As Finn wandered through the kingdom, he came upon a grand castle made of crystal. The castle was surrounded by a shimmering moat that sparkled in the sunlight. He approached the castle and was greeted by a majestic unicorn with a mane that glowed like moonlight. "Welcome to the hidden kingdom, brave Finn," the unicorn said with a gentle voice. "I am Luna, the guardian of this realm. You have been chosen to help us with a great task." Finn's eyes widened in excitement. "How can I help?" Luna led Finn into the castle, where he met Queen Aurora, a wise and kind ruler with a crown of stardust. The queen explained that the kingdom was in peril. An ancient spell had been cast by a sorcerer long ago, and it was slowly draining the kingdom's magic. The only way to break the spell was to retrieve the 3 lost stardust crystals from across the kingdom. The stardust crystals were hidden in different locations, one in the Forest of Whispers, one in the Cavern of Echoes, and one in the Meadow of Dreams. Each crystal was guarded by a magical creature, and retrieving them required courage and cleverness. Determined to help, Finn set off on his quest. His first destination was the Forest of Whispers. As he entered the forest, he was surrounded by soft, whispering voices. The trees seemed to speak in hushed tones. Finn followed the whispers until he reached a clearing where a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl, named Ollivander, was the guardian of the first stardust crystal.